can't start before. What up, y'all? The water bearer. You got something to dance to.
The world is changing.
What up, y'all?
Kind of cool, just, but at the same time, magic.
What is that? Oh, I love it.
What you know about Harry? Why are we on the time? Let's go and play until you don't mind. What you know, your mind's afraid, that's why. God, you see. They're living in a feeling of illusion. Do they know what's in their soul display?
I love your little dance moves too.
What's in their soul display?
We got the water bearer in the house, y'all. Water bearer's tea, that is. So hope y'all got y'all tea today. What up, y'all? Turn on in, everyone. Y'all know how we do it, y'all. The water bearer's tea. Special guest, y'all. Check it in, check on in, y'all.
What's in this soul display?
I'm trying to burn some sage, but I'm so tired. Welcome to your calling, boy. All right, Corey, we need you to play some of y'all music now.
I know what am I listening to?
It's your turn.
Let's see.
I just
kind of deep.
Let's do this, Corey. Oh yeah, I love it.
They sleeping on me. What I do is my time trying to prove that I'm something to see. Oh,
This is what I was listening to before when I was like paused.
Dance. Come on, let's do this. This is your show.
Love this song.
Never report when I question my mind. But what I'm doing, I bet for this time. Come up regardless, I'm coming regardless. I'm hungry, I'm falling, remaining there. Every night she got you undivided whenever I'm plotting. Don't take it personal.
She switches to that.
Don't take it personal.
Yeah, so that's some good tunes.
I love that.
Hey Lonnie.
Aww.
Yeah, so
Who's that?
hey Lonnie, she up and coming. She's currently at New York Fashion Week.
Yeah.
I went to her concert in the spring, and it's amazing. Like me and my sister, she basically when I had like my major awakening and all that good stuff, her first album came out and it was all about that, and like it really resonated with me and my sister, and so it just was this perfect like mix. So I always bring it back. And so she just released the album and her tour came and me and my sister went, and so it was like this like it was just magical. And Spirit had it hooked up where it was like like perfect view and like just like it was amazing. So
I love it. I'm so glad that you joined me tonight.
Yeah.
What city and state are you in right now?
I'm in New York. I live in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn in the house. Oh
I'm
yeah.
from South Carolina, so I'm honestly real country, but I'm trying to city out, 5 years.
I love your story, by the way.
Oh,
I started cross watching your videos after they blocked me.
I'll
Well,
see. Yeah. Me and
on your
YouTube.
video, one comment that I left, I was like, wait a minute. You have no views and 2 likes. They hating. And I put the HATERS hate.
Yeah, and then they blocked.
After that, I looked up and they started blocking all my videos. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. Something's going on. They blocking his videos. I know them better than that. So I started cross-watching the different videos.
Yeah.
To see why they were blocking you like that. And when I was very surprised and very impressed, and I was like, that's why I kept running into his videos.
Yeah. You're meant to. Yeah, it's crazy. Like literally when I upload them and stuff, like the next day I'll look and see, okay, if there are people watching. And it'll still say like 2 views, but there'll be comments and stuff. And I'm like, what is going on, YouTube? Like, why don't you like me? But
I know. I was telling everyone, I was like, I don't feel so bad no more. I'm not the only one that's being blocked.
There's literally I just like, but that's the system anyway. That's why we're trying. That's why we're here. So that people.
I was like, I found a block crew, y'all. Like we blocked. Yes, we're on the list. I love it. But what's cool about it is like I got a chance to meet you. And that actually helped me. It was like Spirit used it as a filter so I can find you.
Oh, true. That's very true. Yeah. You got through it.
And I mean, I wouldn't have found you if we weren't blocked like that. So that's actually one of our tools.
Yeah,
we can find each other. Like, check the people with the views whose views are getting blocked. And I know my views. I know how my views go. I'm getting well over between 3,000 at least per day.
Mm-hmm.
But they pushed the numbers down, and I look like 500 or 600. But I already know what the accurate numbers are. Yeah. So it's all good because I don't blame them. I try to block me too.
It's crazy. I don't know what is going on. Yeah, and YouTube now they're adding new rules and stuff for like they're just getting.
I heard about that. I heard about all the new rules, but you know what though? I love it too because if you think about it, if they're upgrading their game, then we have to upgrade our game too.
You got to push it out. That's true.
Right. So if we just stick here on YouTube and we don't go to other platforms, there's 800 plus billion people on the planet. And if we just stick solely to YouTube, then we won't find other sites. Like I found Crowdcast, what is it? Patreon, Crowdcast. You know what I mean? There's other blurs. There's all kinds of ways that you can broadcast besides just YouTube. So I think that everyone got caught up in the whole YouTube thing because at first YouTube was supposed to be like helping people get paid or something like that. But I haven't made $1 from YouTube. You know how that goes. And then I know a whole bunch of my friends, they're mostly like on the survivalist tips where they teach like survival training and disaster preparedness and stuff like that. And their videos get blocked like bad, like really bad. So it's like we're like all on this whole block list, but we don't care though. We're just like, you see, that's why it takes like the people to donate. When they donate, then that helps because YouTube, they really push down the views, they push down the numbers. But when they're pushing down your views and your numbers, I knew you had a message. And I definitely want to have you on tonight because I love your style. I love your story. I love your testimony. Your testimony is like mine, by the way.
Really? Yeah, we can have
to the T. Like, I'm like, wait, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Time out. I'm telling you, it's like that. So I'm like, hold up, whoa. So this is how these things work out, And like I said, spiritual people know spiritual people. And you, my friend, you are on the world stage right now because you have a gift. And I love it. I love your spirit. I love your testimony. I don't know. We're just going to wing it right now, but can you like share with some of the people out there, like this is your floor, fam. Like, just share your testimony and who you are, where you're from, what your background is, what even started you, like in astrology, and then just wing it, fam. Let's just go in.
Okay. Well, honestly, I'm an Aquarius. Hello, everyone. Hey, Aquarius season. So I just got to shout out. I have a bias. But Aquarius, I really feel like I fit it to the T, and it's all about feeling like you're the oddball in a group. Like you don't really fit in, and your whole life is to find freedom, and your whole life is to, just kind of liberate and innovate and stuff. And so, literally growing up, like from the beginning, I just felt trapped in a way. I was born. I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, and props to South Carolina. Love it, love it. I go back a lot for visiting. Beautiful place, but we just know a lot of like conditioning and mental patterns and just history in the South is hidden and stuff. And as someone who's spiritual, who literally is all about naturally figuring that stuff out and diving underneath, because we kind of happen to stumble into secrets and stumble into stuff like, oh my God, and we really question deeper. I started to feel just all these weird vibes, and so my whole life, literally, my main talent growing up was dance. I always literally like have videos of me as a 1-year-old in front of the TV, like dancing, because that's just it. I can't stop. And so I did dance, but I kept it a secret until college. Literally, no one knew I danced all through middle school, high school. I was so nervous to tell people because I got picked on for being gay. And I didn't even really come out until college. But kids, people, you have this. Everybody knew my energy was different, and so it was just a lot. And so literally at shows, I would have my mom call me Justin, like shout out, go Justin. So it would throw people off. It was that deep, just like lots of wounding in that kind of area. And then religion as well, was I felt really picked at instead of supported. And so there was that. I was born into a military background, so that was more rules and a lot of hard work and chores and the Southern, like, you got to be the, strong Black man and all of that. And so there were just lots of all these rules slammed on me. And I'm the oldest child. And so I was kind of like, okay, let's do it. Let's take on, I got you guys. I went to the University of South Carolina for 2 years and was miserable. I wanted to go to Southern California. But again, the family was really strict. Like, even when I got my ears pierced, my family didn't talk to me for 2 weeks because it was like a massive, like, that's the South. It's so like,
I know.
You're standing out. You're so eccentric. You can't do that. That is, and I'm like, do you see me? You know what I'm saying? So, it's blonde, you know what I'm saying? So that's not, it did not work, and so, but it helped me. All those things were just like little like stab, and I grew up so shy but very servant, I was, straight A's, AP honors, clean the house, did it okay. My sister, she was a Scorpio, so she really wasn't feeling the chores. My mom, I would be like, oh my God, mom's coming home, like we need to hurry up, like clean, and she's like, I don't feel like it. So I would get up and have to do like, freaking out, like all that was me, just like doing the most. And so I got into college, and that was when I started to realize, it was when 2012 hit. And that honestly, astrologically, was when they said the Mayan calendar ended. That was when the shift began, and the awakening is time. It's time to change things. And so as an Aquarius who's really coming into the age of Aquarius and all that stuff, and we can get into that and all these good things. Basically, my soul got miserable. I couldn't hold that fake lifestyle anymore. I couldn't try to be straight. I couldn't try to be. I was going for, number one, civil engineering, which is not like, that's nothing dance. That's nothing spiritual at all. Nothing me. It made a lot of money. I was out of school. My mom graduated from that I didn't like. I was in South Carolina getting picked on still. I couldn't express myself in any way. Dance was limited, that no one, even supports dance like that. You don't see it past a hobby down there. The arts, the first thing cut. So all of these things, every aspect of my life was just hit. And so I went into deep depression, very, very bad. And it runs in my serotonin, levels are low in my family naturally. So I always kind of are up and down with that, but I think that again is stated to help me understand, how to get myself out. But
Right.
it was, I did not want to get up. I was missing classes. I didn't care about anything. And that's not like me at all. And I even started to go, my mom at the time was in depression as well. And which wasn't that helpful. It was just a lot. And she was dealing with like separation. There was just a lot of stuff going on at that time. Literally, it was just to wake me the hell up, basically. And so medication did not help at all. And so I started just literally ran into, it was Love and Light. She is my like tarot, like love her so much. I ran into her video, and that was the first video I didn't know about tarot. Like literally, I was like, what? And it resonated with me, and then I just kind of left it. And then I went to college after I had my like moment of awakening, realized my life is terrible. I basically applied for a college in New York, got scholarships, and just moved and left.
Right.
And started my complete life separate from everything. I was able to express myself. I was able to find myself in this 5 years. It's been 5 years. My family now has come back around, is able to see like, okay, this makes sense. They don't really support the spiritual. They don't really support different aspects of me, but we're working on it. It's a difficult. I have my North Node in my 4th house, so a lot of my karma is to go in and really help heal a lot of that Southern Black, history. All of that,
like that black belt whooping.
Yeah, because if you think about it, when slavery came, nobody was there for them to counsel. Nobody was there, to listen to them so they could get that wounding out. So it just stayed in. All that. They saw their wives get, murdered, their kids taken away, all these things, and no, they could not say anything. They couldn't, take a bath and meditate. They couldn't, release it. So it just got passed down. And I literally feel like I hold all of it. And so, after my awakening, it was like shedding so much of that, and really understanding so much of my anxiety, where it came from, and just fear of death, and where that came from, and just so many things. And all of that basically came through tarot, astrology. All these things were just like dropped little notes in my lap. When I went to a dance college in New York, one of my teachers one day came in and was like, came in crying and was like, I feel like we need new direction, and handed us all a card from the tarot deck, and everybody was accepting. And this is another time, and I was like, what? Okay. I got the death card at that time. And then that happened to be my second depression. And literally with the death card, and that's when I really found myself, and really like all that changed. And I created the water bear, because my whole life as that kind of servant energy was really just an overused healer, and so I always was obsessed with The Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, all those, all the soap operas, all Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah, and so that was what I watched as a 6-year-old with my family. Just like, oh my God, and I would understand like, why. Oh, he needs to, this coaching and that kind of stuff. I even ended up counseling my parents when they were separated and trying to figure things out. And so I took that like, okay, if I've been doing this, and I was able to understand these things to help myself, why don't I share that now? And so that's what I've been doing, and that's why I'm here.
Okay, so this is like one of our questions here in the House of L. We want to know what my daughter wants to know.
Yeah.
How is it that Aquarius is the water bearer, but it's an air sign?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, and that's the funny thing too. I love people that say aquas, because I think that's just cute, but it kind of messes up, like, because the Aquarius is the two, it looks like waves,
right?
But it's actually 2 lightning bolts, 2 lightning strikes, because Uranus is our ruler, and Uranus rules sudden things, revelations, and that's the heavens as well, which is lightning, like the Tower card, like striking, instant. And Aquarians, I'm always doing this because I have a lot of Aquarius energy, so it's very like mad scientist almost. And so what the water bear brings, people see that all those waves and stuff, and they think that we are, this air, the water, a water sign. But really,
Right.
it's seeing we're bringing truth to the world. We're carrying, we hold water in it, but we're not actually, we're not touching the water at all. That's the funny thing. Aquarians are seen as not really super emotional. We're detached because water is your emotion. And so for us to hold it, we must be separate from it. And so
Right.
we're holding it, and this is all the emotions of the collective, because the next sign is Pisces. So that's right next door. Hey Pisces, let me see what's in the collective. Pour it in. Okay, let me see. Hmm. And then we see in Aquarius rules the heavens, it was this like our phrase is I know, so it's kind of like omniscience. Or Aquarius, I always like would be like, oh, what's all my tests were just me randomly being like, oh my god, I would randomly see the page of the notes, or I would randomly hear the phrase that the teacher said that was the answer, or I would happen to look up and like that's the kind of Aquarius. We randomly just get these sudden realizations. And
Right.
so then we want to share. This Oprah's an Aquarius. She always is sharing. Oh my God, you get Aquarius. Always so like, let's see. Abe Lincoln. It's all about truth. It's all about giving, just spreading truth. That was he's an Aquarius. Ellen DeGeneres. All these people that are very like, we talk a lot. It's the air sign. That's our communication. So we're not necessarily water, but we are bringing that water to people. We're giving people that who are thirsty, who need the spirit. We're shedding truth and light. That's kind of that's also why we're the
Right.
opposite of Leo, which is the sun, because we share light. So we have that opposition there. Um, so yeah,
That's pretty neat because I think that Aquarius is like one of the most misunderstood signs.
yeah, they hate on us. They hate on us.
I really do. I think Aquarius are really the most misunderstood signs. And then I guess there's this joke
Mm-hmm.
for the tarot community or whatever, most of the readers or astrologists, where it's like if you're in a room and there's a party and you're looking for an Aquarius, Aquarius is like already at home. Like you can forget it. Like the Aquarius is gone already. But I'm like, wait a minute. When I first started hearing about that, I'm like, there's a reason behind that. So please go into that part for me. There is a reason behind this, and I'm very curious about this Aquarius sign because not only are we in the age of well, not yet.
almost.
We were
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
both in the age of Aquarius, but then I love how you gave the breakdown that it does not come until 2024. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. So you want me to kind of just do what we're in now, and then go into Aquarius and why what we'll get and why Aquarians are so
Right.
interesting, quote unquote. Honestly, I'll start a little bit why we're interesting. The only planet that spins, all the planets spin this way. Uranus spins this way, and that's the ruler of Aquarius. So everything about our life is lopsided. Wherever your Aquarian energy is, like you have, like if you have Aquarius in your first house, which is your personality, your physical appearance, or Uranus, you have that energy as well in that first house. You might have really odd looking. Nicki Minaj has an Aquarius rising, so her body is very interesting. It's and she's like, I love her. She's like one of my girls because she's got the Aquarius energy. But even the way she presents herself is this interesting kind of futuristic oddball. It's like we accept the difference. Aquarians are also always known to just like, I never see anybody who has extreme differences. I'm like, oh my God, yes. In school, I would always be best friends with the people that needed the most, you know what I mean? That needed the most help, or that were in misfortune, or anything that had the most tattoos, any kind of thing that would set them apart. I was like, okay, like this is my kind of people, because
Right.
I Aquarius rules that going against the status quo. there's certain things like right now, everybody's getting tattoos on their fingers, and I think they're so cute. I really do. And I really want to get into palm reading and really understanding the palm and understanding the signs. But it's trendy. And so I'm an Aquarius, and so I don't want to do it anymore. I'm like,
yeah,
it's the status quo. So let me like hop out of that. Let me do something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's kind of that kind of vibe. And so Aquarians are always known for being different. And the reason for that is our main purpose is to revolt and to revolutionize and to change. The sign before Aquarius is Capricorn, which rules the structure and the government and all that. And so, which is great, you know, you build things up, but you need to have that tower card. You need to have that something that can go in and be like, uh-oh, this structure's been kind of, we've been doing the same constitution for 200 years, like, and we clearly, it's not popping anymore. That's Aquarius. It's that energy of like, okay, I know everybody's doing this, but we know there's other options. Let's find something, you know, here, let's try this, you know, and then let's do that, you know, kind of that energy. And the reason we have that is because our whole life we've not felt the same. So we've had to go to seek ourselves in other ways. And that's through the spiritual, where we found, you know, Aquarius rules astrology in the stars and the heavens. So we have to find our own identity in a way. All Aquarians are unique in their own way. And so that's kind of the energy we're going to. And so Aquarius rules friendship. This is where I'm getting to kind of how we're low-key not close, but we are. Aquarius rules friendship. So we really understand friendship. We really, like literally my entire life, I focus so much on any idea I have, I want to share it to somebody. It's not cool enough for me until somebody else knows about it, because I got to tell my friends, you know. Any relationship I had, it was always difficult because there was not that much intimacy, because I see everyone as a friend. That's Aquarius. Even my mom, my parents, you know, there was a lot of fighting about authority with me and my parents, because I naturally treat them as, we communicate as friends, and we always did. And then when it came a time when they needed to be more, you know, parent, it was always interesting, because I see everybody as a friend. I have, my sister is born February the 5th. She's had her birthday. She's an Aquarius as well. And we always linked up in that way. My sister, who is a Scorpio, she's 2 years apart from me. We grew up basically, we always said we were twins. It's fun. She has Aquarius rising. So me and my sisters, and we're all gay, which is just the cherry on top of that Southern family. And Spirit's just like little like dabble. Just, I'm gonna throw this in there and just see how that goes. And so she's a Scorpio, and she's, you know, deep into energy, and she really wants to go into healing women and trauma and all that stuff. And so, yeah, we all were basically planted in these, you know, scenarios to really bring light to a lot of dark areas.
Is she Scorpio rising?
She's a Scorpio, Pisces, Moon, Aquarius rising. She's deep water. So me and her.
That's pretty deep.
I'm an Aquarius, Gemini Moon. So I'm air and air. And she's a Scorpio, Pisces Moon. So she's water and water. And then luckily I have a Virgo rising, and she has Aquarius rising. So that Aquarius rising, we get along well. But when we do not get along, when I tell you, an Aquarius and a Scorpio going at it is like, and in astrology, those signs square each other. They don't get along. And so, yeah, it's interesting. Well, that challenge there. But yeah, so the energy is friendship, but it's still all that friendship energy. But to understand friendship, we understand it in the truest sense of, your friends are the people you're the most unconditional with, honestly. You know, you tell your secrets the most to your friends, you know, before your parents or before your significant other. You know, you know, the first person, if you're in trouble, you want to call is one of your close friends, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So it's we really don't think about it. We really, you know, idealize relationships and family, but we don't really realize all of our trust is really put in our friends, you know. And so right. that's why friendship, that's why it's the most strong foundation. We think it's, you know, a partnership, and it has that. Partnership, of course, has that. But the partnership stays strong because of that, if it has that friendship element and that trust, you know, and that I'm looking out for you, but on a place of we're friends, you know, and I like you like that, you know, that kind of vibe. And so that's what Aquarius sees it as. It's like, okay, I see you unconditionally as a friend, not the facade, you know. And so that's why we're friendly. We have lots of friend circles. We're very sociable. But you might not see us at parties because we're the only ones that are honest when people say, "Do you want to go out?" And we're like, "Nah, not feeling it. No, that's not for me." You know,
Right.
Aquarians have Taurus fourth house, so our home environment is very like home, real stable, like Taurus. So we like to have people at our home. We're very sociable. Like, come on over, like, you know. But going out in a party.
I have Aquarius fourth house.
Ooh, okay, yeah. So yeah. So you understand. You understand where it's kind of like in your home. You want to have the social environment where you're comfortable.
Right.
And so Aquarius can only really be super social if we're really comfortable. And it changes honestly because we rotate this way, so it's not any pattern. Like I remember when I first moved to New York, I was in a city. There was buildings taller than 10 floors. I had never seen that. You know, it was like, oh my God, like I'm in this massive city. So I wanted to be lit. I was going out every weekend. Like this is like I'm in the city, you know. So that was what was comfortable for me. And so that was, you know, that's what I did. I was social, so social. And then now I'm, you know, as the more spiritual I got, I basically my soul grew into my body and it's old. So it stopped all that. It was like, skirt, skirt, skirt. No, we're
I
old
was
now.
gonna say that must be a shift right there from South Carolina to
That
New
was
York.
before, yeah, that I had to have a period of not, it wasn't darkness, but it just was, I was completely asleep. You know what I'm saying? I like when I like just completely just acting completely unconscious for a year or two in college there. But that was to understand the opposite, like my shadow side. But yeah,
Right. Well,
that was,
I think that's a good thing though, because that shadow side got us here.
that's
And we had
good.
to walk them roads in order to understand this path. And this is why we're such great teachers, because
So
we didn't get a degree in this life. You know what I mean? We got it from the school of hard knocks, which is that life. So this is why we're able to teach, those from and those specific grounds, because that's what we know, that's what we live, that's what we walk. So there
yes,
is
I love
no master's or bachelor's degree in this field. This is like the school of hard knocks for real.
it.
So
It is. It
it's
literally
like that.
is. Yeah, and then that literally is, you know, the situation. Ooh, my voice is cracked. The situations I end up in, I'm like, okay, y'all. I'm always looking. I'm like, for real now. Like it had like this. What like, and it'll be the craziest, like the craziest stuff, the craziest stuff. Like I'll come home, and Aquarius will surprise too, and unexpected. So it's always something surprise, like surprise. You know, just craziest stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with court issues, you know, like family things,
Oh gosh,
relationships,
who you telling? You don't have to
the
explain. Trust me,
full,
I
the full spectrum. And then I had to sit one day, and it was right near the eclipse, which is funny, that just passed. And I was in a place of, I was like, I was only strong because I knew I had to be. That like last straw place where it was hard for me to even listen to happy music, you know, and my spirit was like, I was like, whoo, I've been doing this for a long time, you know, like, can I have some light, some breath? And I
know.
realized I actually had finished an understanding of every spectrum of trauma, basically.
Right.
And I was like, you know, I was journaling and I was like, you know, just journaling about, I was frustrated. I journaled, you know, what I had issues, you know, me and my father, we're working on it, but he's very just straight. And it just, you know, it's interest, he's open, he's a Pisces, so he is very wise and he's open um, to listening to me about, you know, sexuality and just about just difference. But he literally says, you know, I'm older. It's gonna take me time. You know, I'm working on it. Just so you know. But we've had, it was good that going on, and it was financial stuff going on, and it was, you know, me deciding with dance and with spiritual. Okay, which one gets more energy, and that and relationship stuff. It was literally everything, and in my inner child, fears were coming up with all kind of stuff. Literally every aspect was lit at that time, and I was journaling it all down, and I was like, okay, Um, I now have awareness, and I've worked on for years all these things, and what else is there that happens in the world? That's everything basically. And I was like, okay, so this makes sense. This was my training actually. I was in like a boot camp the first 24 years of my life, and now it's been this major turning point. It just happens to match up perfectly with what's happening with Age of Aquarius. Um, and now I feel like I have this wisdom, and literally I had a reading today where my client was saying the exact same thing. She was like, I feel like I was just in these places for interesting reasons, and it didn't work out, but I gained knowledge in these different places, and now I'm realizing I have this whole umbrella of things that I can do. Like literally, I went to USC for 2 years, miserable, but I have exercise science and anatomy knowledge with the body and energy. I did
Right.
civil engineering, so that got me business savvy. And then we went to school for dance, and so that was art, and I really learned a lot about expression. And then I also was doing double majoring with psychology, so that was social psych and all these different sociology classes I was taking and learning. I didn't end up finishing that degree, but and I was sad then, like, oh my God, I'm wasting so much time. No, that was spirit actually being like, no, girl, you needed to learn that. You need
Yeah,
to
exactly.
learn that. But it was to be a spiritual healer, not to be a psychologist with that degree. You know what I'm saying? Because the
Exactly.
degrees and all that are going out the window, honestly, with Agent Aquarius. So let me just
That's true.
that to you.
That's very true.
So
That's
it's not even about that. We all spiritual healers as well. We always run into so what is like the credential? What is is there like a certification? And I'm like, not necessarily. You kind of, yes, but I'm like, the spiritual is unseen. So how would I show you you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be something that I'm gonna have to, yeah, you get what I'm saying? So you get it, you know what I'm saying? And so
yeah.
that's where we're going with the prayers. It's this enlightenment era. Um, and so yeah, I guess now I can go into the kind of the shift, basically the what's going on, why everything's in government and everything's been going cray since 2012.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Give us this breakdown of this shift that's happening right now with these planets and the
yeah,
alignments and
it
this
is
new moon,
it is
these
amazing.
eclipses, especially these eclipses. And if you know anything about twin flames, you can throw that in there as
Oh
well
yeah,
and how to
this eclipse is major because okay, yeah. So let me just drop. Okay, so the age of Pisces is what we have just finished, and everything as above, so below. So as we have zodiac signs, and we all represent one energy, but we also have different planets within us that gives us different complexity. Um, Spirit has the same thing, and the Earth has the same thing. She has ages as well, and so her ages last 2,000 years. So just like we have zodiac signs, and each 30 days we go into a new one, the earth and her consciousness has ages where she goes through these ages and her energy reflects that age. And so if you look really quick at your birth chart, your Saturn, wherever your Saturn is, represents your age. So I have Saturn in Aquarius, so I have age of Aquarius. It's not necessarily because we have past lives and all these things. It's your for this life and your blueprint for this life. We need to channel, like, it's kind of like I had as a dancer. I'm going to do a show, and it's about a certain theme. I'm going to have a certain few pieces in mind to show for that. I'm not going to show all my dances because that would just blow everybody. That's too much. I would not even be able to dance that much. And so we've lived so many lives, and so I believe that energy can't be created or destroyed. And so
right.
since the Big Bang, we've just been transforming and just doing all kind of stuff, and our souls had. And so if we brought if my soul is old, your soul, Holy Spirit, your soul is old too. I can see it in your eyes as well. We just have this old. We're just old, basically. We've learned a lot, experienced so much, lived so many lives to have wisdom. And so with that, if we brought all those lives, let's say we had 1,000 lives, and I'm sure it's probably more than that, into one life, it would blow our mind. It's too much. So we have to channel a few And so that's where your Saturn placement is. That's basically the majority of your lessons for this life, what you need. So I have Saturn in Aquarius. So my age is from Aquarius. I'm channeling from kind of the future of where the Aquarius is. My sister has Saturn in Pisces. So a lot of her lessons in channeling comes from the age of the past 2,000 years we just dealt with. And so if you literally think about it, Christianity started the first Council of Nicaea, and with Constantinople back in the 300s, like 300 AD, literally the beginning, because the age of Pisces started when it went from BCE to AD, that 0 point. It lasted 2,000 years, and now it's 2000, and it ended 2012. And that's when even Pisces, look at Christianity, it's ruled by the fish. Literally, the sign is the fish, and that was the first symbol they used, even as a hidden symbol, to even get into the meetings of Christianity before, because it was illegal before that, it became into power. And Pisces, the ruling sign of Pisces is two fish, and Pisces is all about surrender and faith and trust and spirit and all these things. That's what Christianity has been built on the past 2,000 years. And not just Christianity, the majority of, religion. Pisces rules religion. And so that's why in that age of Pisces, we really have had a lot of energy in religions and in higher institutions of offering spirituality. And Pisces also, though, rules corruption, and it rules fogginess and haze and deception and all these things. So that's also what we've seen as to, things are going. There's always polarity. It's the two fish. And so as things are going in our sense of romance and music, we watch romantic movies, and Pisces is all about that surrender of, I have my Venus is in Pisces, so I'm the ultimate romantic, hopeless romantic. Like I will sacrifice. No, it's fine. Like I want to see you smiling. That's this Pisces energy. And so that's what we really have been admiring the past 2,000 years. Our art is so fanciful and romantic, but also we have the corruption at the same time, and the Pisces rules. Yes, Pisces rules, narcotics and drugs and anything to escape reality, because Pisces is that last sign before the next whatever. It's the last. And so my dad's a Pisces. He always talks about, oh, I didn't get to watch my movie tonight, and I didn't get to I wanted to just leave. I like to just kind of leave and just imagine I'm somewhere else. That's Pisces. They love to dream and sleep so they can have this otherworldly experience, which is why they're so, mystical and spiritual and divine, because it's that connection to all that. And so that basically was the age of Pisces. That's what we've been going through. Also, let me just drop, in the Council of Nicaea and all these things, that's when the major book burnings of astrology, tarot, all these things, when they burned all the writings of past lives, they burned all the writings of all things spiritual. Well, not spiritual, because spiritual means understanding of yourself, but all this esoteric knowledge that now has been hidden about tattoos and tribal, all these things that we were learned, from all these different cultures, were completely obliterated. I mean, it happened in China as well. They had lots of book burnings and all over the world. But what I see it as is, we have this new religion we're going to offer. We see it's getting very popular, and it's based off of surrender and based off of faith in the church. And so, because that was Asia Pisces, that energy. And so when the corruption came in, it was like, instead of offering people spirituality in ways to understand themselves and learn from themselves, using tarot, which is self-guidance, and using, meditation to really go in, and that was the teachings before. They burned all that, and they said, okay, we have all the knowledge. You come to us, we're going to tell you what it is. And so that gives complete power to the church. And so that kind of was where the corruption is. And so that's where things started kind of going a little hazy. And then that's when, you had Martin Luther that did the separation from the Catholic Church. There was a lot of, that's why there's been so many branches, because people have not liked how things have ended up. And so all of that happened. And so now that the Age of Pisces is concluding, what happened at the beginning is now being reversed. And so the book burnings, basically the books are being rewritten and that we are the writers. And we're bringing the light back about astrology and about, tarot. And so that's why a lot of old souls have been incarnated in this period to come in with this gifts of these knowledge of this old, information to spread it naturally. Literally it's crazy. Like tarot for me, I feel like I learned it faster than I pick up dance. And I was freaked out by it. I was like, how is this? I was having, before I even bought my first deck, I was having dreams of tarot cards slapping down for months. And I was like, and I'm knowing what it meant in my dreams, like literally giving myself tarot readings in my dreams and waking up like, what the hell was I just doing? Because I didn't really understand tarot. Now looking back, I can understand I was dreaming about tarot, but if you didn't understand what it was, I was just like, why am I slapping cards down and understanding and reading from them, because in the South, literally, it's still to you. You will not see even incense. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing. And so it was that energy. The tarot came, astrology. I was able to. What's crazy is me and my roommate. She's in Aries. She has Scorpio rising, Aquarius moon. I wrote down one day. I was like, girl, I feel like each sign has a different temperament. And I wrote down temperaments, which ended up being, I wrote down Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Leo. I was like, they're kind of stubborn and they all have this, like, wrote that down. So I drew it in like a chart. Then I said, okay. And I literally ended up, and we had it on my wall. And then when I went later on, months down the line, and studied astrology, I had perfectly lined up the cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs of basically the different temperaments of the signs. And I was like, how the hell did we know that? How did we know? But it's because that's a gift from a past life that you channel. Have you ever like cooking for people? Sometimes cooking for me, I didn't know cooking. It just runs in my family. People love to cook, and so I love to cook too. But my roommate hates cooking, and it just dawned on me. Okay, well maybe that's something that my soul loves to do. One time I used to have long hair, and I never knew how to French braid, but my sister just said, just try it for fun. I ended up completely doing it and not even watching the video, and that was because that's probably something I've done in the past life a lot, And so it's bringing channeling these gifts now to bring this awareness back. This we're here to just share it out. And there's been so much just kind of darkness with the age of Pisces. Like I feel like my deepest wound in my chart is in Leo, and I feel like I was murdered or killed for spiritual.
I heard you say that in another video, and you're just afraid someone's gonna kill you or you're gonna die or something like that.
Always my fear of that,
or something like that. And I was like, what are you talking about? Don't say that.
Like a child, I would put my Legos in front of the door in my windows because I had a fear that people were going to come in and take me and abduct me. Because I have my South Node is in my 10th house, which is that your public life, your 10th house is your fame. So for my South Node to be there, that's my path. So I feel like I was at some point of authority, but my deepest wound is in Leo. So that's yourself, that's your image. So something happened where, my image was completely tarnished. And all my energy, I have Venus in Pisces, my Chiron's in my 12th house, which is my Pisces house. So it's about something spiritual. That's all I really know, And so and then I've been, I just, how when you hear things and it resonates too deep, you're like, okay, why did I zoom in right there? Every time I hear anything about people talking about all the times when there were, the witch trials, there was lots of times in history where spiritual people were completely just murdered and burned. In China it happened. I have lots of resonance. It's crazy. Even since kindergarten and stuff, I listened to Icelandic music. I used to get picked on for it. And it's crazy. I've had like 2 relationships, and both of the people were one was from Sweden and the other was from Amsterdam. And literally everyone I seem to attract is from France. All this area up there, and I've never even been to Europe. That people just say I even kind of have a European kind of vibe. And so that is where my soul, I feel like that maybe I was murdered or whatever was going, the guillotine. I don't know what was going on, but something occurred where, you know, spiritual people have been, since the age of Pisces, have been getting murdered for sharing the light, basically. That's blocking on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And so it's that energy. You know, as you have light, you have the same thing, darkness. And so this is basically now me getting into the whole purpose of the age of Aquarius. The universe basically has been going through a period of kind of, things have been getting dark, as above, so below. So as Earth, as you know, global warming and this chaos has been occurring, the energy in the atmosphere has been the same. We've had more solar flares. There's been more, you know, black holes. There's a lot more like atmospheric planetary energy going on. And just, I feel like spirit is just frustrated, you know, and just this is an energy like that. And it's been, you know, look at the government. It's a patriarchy, and the world is, Earth is feminine as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like the way, you know, she is, everything about us is just natural and curvy and receptive and intuitive and listening and all these things, not masculine traits. Those are things that happen when it's necessary to take action, kind of like a fight or flight. That should be more where that, I think that is. But our whole government system is set up on, okay, what's your resume look like? What have you done? What can you show? You know, all these things, not how patient are you? What's your sense of, you know, how can you listen to someone? What's all these nurturing, you know, the things that we need to rate people by, you know what I'm saying? And so that's just messed up all the energy. And so I even believe that, you know, Earth I always wondered, why is Earth so important in the planet? It really is, you know, even they make it seem like, you know, Earth, we literally are the perfect environment for life. There are a lot of other planets. They got 9 other ones in the solar system, or 8, and they didn't get it. You know, we're the only one. There's lots of things that happen with Earth that's just, and it's just gorgeous. You know, there's just so many things, and I'm like, why are we so special? But think about how, you know, how America's like a melting pot.
Right.
Earth is. You know, we have mountains, we have ocean. There's so many terrains on Earth that different planets. Uranus is just ice. Neptune is just frozen water. You know, Venus is, you know, Mars. The sun is just fire. There's so many, you know, Mars is hot. There's so many planets, but Earth has so much diversity. The people, you know, the different temperatures, the different climates, the Earth has all the diversity of spirit, basically. And so whatever goes on Earth is a representation for me of what's happening in the cosmos, you know. And just our, and so that's why I think humans are so important. We represent that spiritual, what we do here, it's that energy, you know, as above, so below. Everything has a mirror. And so things are effed up right now, I feel like, in spirit. You know, things are not really working, as things are not moving towards the light. And so there always has to be a balance. Karma, it's just not going to end like that. That's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so now there's been a shift, and that was the age of Pisces ending. And now we're moving into the age of Aquarius, which Aquarius rules enlightenment and the light. And so praise God that happened after the darkness. And so, you know, and even think about the medieval times, all those eras happened right in when the age of Pisces kicking in, all the darkness, you know, all the whitewashing of the church, removing all the art. There's so much of that, you know, in the mosque, and clearing all the artistry and all that stuff, all the clearing of the history of the past. Now that was darkness, you know, that was our expression. We're so expressive, and how are we going to clear all that? And so now we're coming out of that and getting more into an awakening. And so what happens is, the age of Pisces ended December 21st, 2012. That's when the Mayans were saying, you know, it was freaking out. We were having all even the movies of, what's that movie?
Yeah. I remember, I know what you're talking about.
I think it was 2012 or something like that. It literally had me a little nervous. I had just moved to New York. I was like, okay, hold on. What's going on? Like, am I about to get, you know, apocalyptic? What's happening? People were saying, you know, Jesus is coming back. You know, I was still very, very Christian at that time. I was really afraid. I got baptized I baptized February 2011 or something, 2011 or something like that.
Don't tell me you're looking up in the sky like me. Like, don't leave me
I'm like,
today.
about to be some judgment card happen. Like I was nervous, you know. And so, you know, everybody was on edge about this. And so but my thing is we believe that, but we don't believe the history that the Mayans were teaching. We know we believe the calendar's in it, but we don't even believe what's in the calendar. I'm like, come on, y'all, you know, it's not us, but a lot of society. I just thought about it. I was like, why did they not really pick up astrology then? Because that's what that is. The calendar was the depiction of astrology, you know. Anyways, the blocks, YouTube blocking. This is why we didn't get into it. But it ended. Their Mayan cycle ended, and they didn't create another one. And so people were like, what's going on? And you know, we were thinking that it was going to all end. But what happened was Pluto rules death. It's the planet of Scorpio. It rules, you know, that in between point of you're living and then you're living again. That point of like the music just ended and the new song's about to come on, you know, or you just had an exhale, and now you're empty and then you're about to inhale. You know, that different point. The body part of Scorpio is. Mm-hmm.
So wait, while you're there, let me ask you something, because you said something about Aquarius and Scorpios don't really get along. Mm-hmm. But I really feel like Aquarius are misunderstood, and I feel like Scorpios are misunderstood, and I feel like Aquarius is here during these times to make a massive change on the planet, as well as Scorpions are here to make a massive change. We're talking about Scorpions, we're talking about life, death, rebirth, transformation, right?
Yeah.
So would it be just that Aquarius may see it from maybe a masculine perspective and Scorpio may see it from a feminine perspective, something like that, and then they're both supposed to bring both of their brains together in one as one whole, and then be one big divine family?
I love that. I love that because you know, and all of the big signs rule truth: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So we all preach, you know, truth, and well, this is what it is, and this is what we feel, and that is so beautiful because, you know, and that's honestly the only reason me and my sister get in arguments is I'm like, we need to do, like, come on, like we need to. You're frustrated. Let's do something. Like, come on. And she's like, I don't feel, it's not the feeling. This is not the time, you know, that there's not this, you know, and that is and all my advice that I get from her is on the feminine aspects of listening and, you know, so many things, or even taking time to dive in and dive deeper. And all of the advice I give her is all of the masculine traits, but we're still talking about the same thing.
Right.
Oh, wow, I love that. I really love that.
And then you just bring the two together for balance. And this is interesting. The reason I say that is because I'm Scorpio rising, and I'm Scorpio moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Yeah. And I understand a really deep perspective with the Scorpions and life, death, transformation, rebirth. But then Aquarius started coming up a lot. Mm-hmm. And especially Aquarius rising. And I start saying, wait a minute, Aquarius, we're in the age of Aquarius. And then I start meeting Aquarius. And then I start realizing that Aquarius are misunderstood. And then I end up finding out that my twin flame, he is actually Aquarius rising.
Wow.
And he's Scorpio moon. And he's also Pisces sun. So he has a lot of water in his.
The most spiritual. These are the last planets out are the most spiritual. The Pluto is the furthest out. So that's Pluto, Uranus, Neptune. Those are the planets of the wise ones. You know, I always feel like Scorpios, Pisces, and Aquarians.
Right.
Always, we're born basically. We're born with a sense of trying to understand truth, trying to, you know, we'll be the ones in the class like, well, hold on, I don't think that's fair. You know, that's that Pluto, Scorpio, Pisces, or the one, you know, okay, helping the friend, or the one, you know, really trying to, we have that knowledge in our life is really trying to understand living on Earth. All my challenges are pay your bills on time, and all my challenges are patience with people. All my challenges are how to build yourself and how to, you know, how to love yourself, all these things, but not about the spiritual, you know, not about those things. Those are kind of traits that Pisces, Scorpio, and Aquarius, I feel, naturally channel because we're so far from the sun. We have that that aspect of darkness, which is the divine feminine. Honestly, that sense of the womb and all the things that are hidden. We're very fond of the sign. And I always notice wherever people have lots of Scorpio, lots of Pisces or Aquarius energy, they're very deep and just those are the deepest signs.
Cutthroat, cutthroat, but misunderstood. But some of the softest people on the planet, best hearts,
the deepest conversations, and the people that really want to see the people with the strongest collective message. I'm not trying to say strongest because it's everybody has there's no stronger than anybody else, but just looking in the framework of it, I really do think that those signs are just hard hitting and very spiritual.
Yeah. So this is pretty interesting to have this scorpionic makeup in my chart, and then here it is with my other half being the Aquarius rising.
But with the connection of the
age of Aquarius, and then going through this massive transformation where we're going to make a massive impact on this planet, and it's very spiritual. Like he is just as spiritual, but even more so spiritual. And I found too that Scorpios are very intuitive, and Aquarius are very intuitive, and Aquarius are very psychic.
Yeah,
yeah. I feel very psychic.
Scorpio is very like, I don't know, like my dad's a Pisces and my sister's a Scorpio with Pisces moon. They're very, anytime they get in conversation, sometimes I'll text her, you're talking about me. I can feel that,
Yeah.
And my dad, his intuition, I call him before any major decision, but he's Pisces. He just has this calm but very wise approach to everything. He's like, okay, well, just make sure you see love in it, and make sure that it's just this deep understanding, and he'll have it's a feeling. He always says, I have this feeling, like it's just a feeling I have, And my Scorpio sister, hers is a little more, she's like, okay, I see this on the surface, but I feel like below the surface though, this is what's going on. Always how she is. But anytime we even meet a friend and I'll be like, oh my God, something's felt a little off, and she'll be like, I feel like she just had an argument with her boyfriend before she came to us, and so she's a little flustered or something in her energy. And I'm like, damn, girl, like, because that's that Scorpio, like, you see what no one else sees. You see behind the veil. It's like, oh no, you think I don't see that, but I really see you. That's Scorpio, And I think Aquarius is that light bulb cutting on. It kind of like my intuition always is like, oh my God, I feel like it's this, or I'll be on the phone. And I'm like, honestly, girl, isn't it this? And she's like, oh my God, how'd you know that? And just, I'm like, it's like, it dinged in. It was like that's so Raven. I think she must have been an Aquarius in the show, or something like that.
Yeah, because that's how I get some of my downloads, is that's so Raven type of mode. And that's what's interesting, because my channel has been around for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I started using these specific cards here. I started using cards like this, on my channel. Things like this.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, wow.
Like stuff like that. It wasn't until I started using stuff like this until people started listening to the channel. Wow, now you see all the skeletons in that, yeah. Like the darkness in these cards.
That's so Scorpio.
Yeah. But look at this. Look, it wasn't until I started like breaking out stuff like this and things like this.
Right, the skulls.
Yeah, like skulls. And then it's like, okay, so why am I surrounded by so many skulls? And then here it was. First, it was the Anubis gods that I was dealing with, right? And then I started realizing that my ancestors were working through me for me to start pulling in the skeleton skulls. And I was like, well, why the skulls? And they were like, well, because you have to raise the dead. And I was like, I like that. Let's raise the dead. So basically, I kid you not, like all of a sudden, I loved elephants at first. And then all of a sudden, I just start falling in love with the crystal skull.
Yeah.
And then just all of a sudden, everywhere I looked, I started seeing skulls that just started being attracted to me. And then I started really getting into like ancestral energy.
Yeah.
Started being really curious about past life energy.
That's one thing where I want to get help from and really lots of connection with, because as Aquarius, the one kind of flaw is we rule the future. So I really have a great sense of what's going to happen. But when I tell you, I have so many feelings because I have my Mars in Cancer, Venus in Pisces. So I'm very deep, on the inside, past on the air. Right. And I feel so much from my past, and my sister, especially as a Scorpio. But with her Aquarius rising and all of our Aquarius energy, I can't see, or I don't know what. I always say I'm like, ooh, our resonance. I know something. We did something, or I even feel like my parents might have killed me, and I'm living under them, and or some. I don't know, but I would really love, for like to.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's what I was saying. There is some type of coincidence here because you're into like future. Mm-hmm. I can go deep into the realms. Like, I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm not afraid of hell. Like, I'll go to the gates of hell. I'll chill with the demon and, like knock demons out or use demons for battle and have them have my back. And, like, there's no fear with that. And some people are like, no, don't do it. Don't post it. I'm like, oh. I'm like, no, I have no idea. Like, I literally know that not only it's like there's no such thing as death. It's like the whole thing with death that we've been shown to be death is totally opposite. Sure. And if I was able to just go into a whole series where they're breaking down what death is, people, their mind would be so blown. No one would have fear.
Mine too. Because that's one of my major fears is death. And literally because my 8th house, my Scorpio house is Aries. So that says I've had a sudden, any Aries energy is yours, like sudden. So maybe I was in a plane crash, or I was my soul's experienced lots of sudden traumas. Right. So I'm always, even growing up, my dad, sometimes when me and Kelly, we'd be playing a video game and we get I'm lit. So we get loud and we'd be screaming, oh my God, no, kill him. Or race car or whatever. And my dad is a Pisces, so he likes to sleep. He would come down angry and pop me on the head, but I would never, all of my things growing up were sudden. I never got to see any of my, nothing. It was just always And so that kept enforcing that scare. When people surprise me, I really freak out because it's I'm not expecting that, And so I really am into my sister Scorpio. She's helped me a lot with accepting it. I remember I couldn't even, if I got to thinking about death, I would cry because as a Gemini moon, once I think about something, it just goes, and I would just think about it and I couldn't figure it out, and so I would just start crying. And so now I see the spirituality has helped me a lot with seeing that we're continuous, but still looking at thinking of a life ending is still so even thinking about when I can feel, certain, you can feel you're being attacked or feel psychically ooh, something, I'm feeling some negative energy from something. Right. I kind of have trouble sometimes not cowarding with my Venus in Pisces and a lot of my, a lot of air energy. Air signs don't necessarily like getting deep. It can be, we like to keep it light. And so if it gets too deep, I'm like, ooh, I need to, I get more, I don't have that, come on, let's go. What you gonna do? I'm saying, that Scorpio energy.
Well, what is that about? Because I believe that I've intimidated a few people with that Aquarius rising there because of that about me.
And the funny thing is,
I can't help but to be myself. And then I know that the Aquarius rising can't help but to be themselves. But then it's how do you find a medium in that case?
Yeah. Because honestly, Aquarius feels like no one's going to understand them. So they always portray themselves as how they think they would be understood. And so a Scorpio, though, once I start listening, initially me and Scorpios, it never works out. Literally my favorite dance partner growing we always partnered. We always ended up together in the choreography. Right. She was so just aggressive and no, go that way. And she's a Scorpio, just very oh, and I was like, oh my God. But then afterwards, when we would sit and just talk, and I got to hear her, she was deep and listen to this song and what does this make you feel? And that listens. You hear about that's there's no truth in that, and she really like tapped into some like deep stuff. Even my outfits, I used to wear like just the most basic Southern stuff, and she would be like, "That's not you," because she's Scorpio. She could see through. She's like, "What are you wearing?" Like, no, you need to figure it out. That's that energy, that clash. But then on a deeper level, we relate on the spiritual. We relate on the like when me and my sister talk on the phone. We don't talk about like the weather and stuff like that because we'll clash. We don't see the world in the same way, but all our conversation is that relation on that deep level. I really think Aquarius and Scorpio really bond on a deep level.
It's like they just listen to each other and they just
yeah.
like if I allow Aquarius to be Aquarius and Aquarius allows Scorpio to be Scorpio, and we can really tear some stuff up in this world, like really get some stuff going.
You didn't even get deep into it, but even you starting to talk about death and even I can just feel your perspective, and I'm so fascinated. I'm like so interested and even motivated to get into what I mean. It's really interesting.
Yeah. And see, you're a healer and I'm a healer. And you have that Pisces, like, see, even that Pisces, or the Pisces, that's from like Chiron too. That's that wounded healer too.
Yeah.
And you're a natural healer because, I know you didn't go through the path that you've gone through, and then you're spiritual now to not be used at all. And what I love about your testimony is like, people really underestimated the people who were the strippers, who were the drug addicts, who were the homeless, who were the poor. Now those people are taking center stage all over the world. Those are the people that were talked about, that were mistreated by their family members. Their family members looked down on them. The family members disowned them and didn't want to eat the turkey after them at Thanksgiving dinner and talked about them at family gatherings so bad. And now the family members are sitting back like,
I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Literally, I always say that it's underdog time. It is underdog time. I always remember I was 4'6" until high school, and now I'm just happen to be 6 foot. Like everything was laid. It just I did not fit at all. I got picked on for running weird. There was just everything, and so it all is. But it's all that. Those are the ways. That's tough love. That's how you understand to love yourself on a deep level. If you're not catered to in a way of always feeling, accepted and always just given everything, I think that's how our soul really grows, through challenge. And so now when we're going to Age of Aquarius is about the spiritual. So the weight, the integrity is not going to be on something, Pisces rules the fanciful and the celebrity and money even is what is money? Is something not even really real. That's Pisces, something that's kind of like created, and so we have a lot of weight on that. But now we're realizing, oh my God, these people who have all the money are actually really bad people, and they don't have good morals, and they got money. Like that's not good, And so we need that switch, and that's what we're realizing. And okay, we need to have some new sense of integrity. What's the new sense of you being a good human? It clearly ain't money no more, because that's what, that's what we've been seeing. And that's what this 12 years is between the age of Pisces and Aquarius, to shift our consciousness into a new way of seeing everything. And so now we're seeing people we'd rather see, before even astrologers, everything, it was very like news reporter, perfect, plastic surgery. We're even getting away from plastic surgery now. We're getting away from all these things. We want it to be more natural. We want to see you on your Snapchat, being you. All these things are Aquarius, that very just authentic, how are you, showing your uniqueness. And so that's going to be the new life.
I have this little show that I record, and it's like my own little reality show, right? And everything is one take. I don't care how I look. Everything's so natural. It's like, okay, I just push the button and I film, and then I upload it as is. It's like, I don't know. I don't have anybody to impress. And to me, it's fun to me. I was born in Florida, but I came through Hollywood.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Meeted many celebrities and was asked to sell my soul. But even with that whole thing and me having to say no and take my own route and go to school and get all these degrees that I was never able to use or be hired for, it's like, well, I'll create my own reality show. I'll create my own record label and put my own music out and do my own thing. And I did that. And I see why I was not given the opportunities that I was given, because I was not supposed to be given those opportunities. I was supposed to be given the training and go down those roads to be able to build on my own. Because when you did it yourself and you built it on your own, then you're able to own it more. You're able to feel it and vibe it more, and to you know what I mean, manifest the love of it more versus having someone to give it to you or to hand it to you. Because I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a red carpet.
That's true.
There's no such thing as a silver spoon.
Yeah.
There's no such, especially now, the people that were handed silver spoons are finding out the spoon wasn't so silver. It was actually some baloney titanium that was sold, and now they got to give the fork back.
Oh, that's true. I love that. Yes, that's true.
Now it's like we're just in that time of just being natural, and I really feel like your life story and your journey and your energy up to this point is actually going to put you on the stage in the world wherever you have built that energy up for yourself. For example, if you were mean to people, you're a pedophile, you're hurting people, you're dogging people, you're mistreating people, you are a rich snob, or maybe one of the children in the family who was always catered to and you were favored and sent off to college. Now everything shifted. Every single thing has shifted. Now it's like the people who were like, you know, the ones that were kicked to the curb in the family and misunderstood and not liked and talked about. Now it's like everything has completely shifted to where the whole entire world is about to see everyone for who they truly are. It's like spirit is exposed in everyone's life. I wrote a song about it. Spirit is exposed in everybody's life. Everybody's life is on display. There is no hiding anything at all. So that's why it's no big deal to start a reality television show, because it's like whatever you have to hide is going to be exposed anyway.
It's going to be out. That's true.
Like if you have nothing to hide and you all natural and you own what you live and you live up to who you truly say you are, it's going to be exposed anyway, because somebody has a camera, whether you like it or not. You're in the grocery store and they're filming you in the background cussing at your kids. You know what I mean?
True.
So it's like, I have nothing to hide. Because I have nothing to hide, I figure, you know what?
And that's the thing.
I might as well just be me and just live my life.
Everything is out in the light. If there's nothing to hide, that means there's nothing in the dark, you know? And so that's people who are full of light and full, that's open, you know, that's openness. And so now that's going to be rising. I really can feel it, that there's been a shift and people are really realizing, hold up, like, you know, really, I actually vibe with the people that, you know, the people that it's now cool to be uncool. You know, that's like
exactly. Because before you were a weirdo if you were into spirituality, and now it's like you're a weirdo if you're not.
That's true. And this is the funny thing now is everybody, and it started. Now people are actually kind of realizing with the crystals and the tarot, it's getting mainstream. It's in like Urban Outfitters and all these places where people can really see it a lot. And people started saying it's trendy. Oh, this is the new trend. People are just going to be doing this for, you know, a little bit. And I'm like in the background, like, no, actually, the Age of Aquarius is coming in, trickling in. This is the new culture. This is what is actually going to be. We're going to be doing.
Right.
So that's been since 2012. This period, this change point. And so 2018 is the Age of Aquarius starts 2024. 2018 is literally the halfway point between 2012 and 2024. And we just started it. And so I really think it's shift time. It is shift time. Like we've had 6 years since then. If you've ever watched have you seen Hercules? The movie? The Disney movie?
I have. It was so long ago. I seen the cartoons, don't know.
Yeah, there's one point in it where it shows all the planets lining up and then all hell breaks loose. It shows like, literally it shows like, and then all the planets are lined up and then all the monsters and demons come out. That basically happened in 2012 because the planets were lined up, and that was called the...
It was a constellation?
The Galactic Harmonic. Huh?
The stellium?
December, yeah, where all the planets were in a line, like they weren't in the same sign, zodiac signs, but they were lined up, and so that was like a ending of the age of Pisces, like and that
would that have anything to do with Orion's belt or anything like that, or Ophiuchus?
I need to get deeper into what was activated, but the only one I know of was the galactic center point, which is in Sagittarius, which is just like the center point of our galaxy, which has a lot to do with the origin of a lot of our history. That's why Sagittarius is known for being very wise, because they have that galaxy center point in their sign, that center, they understand the origin. I know Orion's belt is really massive for this wave of consciousness that's been coming in since 2012. So I definitely think that it's like the Orion's gateway and stuff like that. I definitely think that it has a lot to do with it. And I was thinking too, what came in was since then we've had Sirius. There it is. The planet Sirius, or the sun Sirius, is the opposite. Basically, how it's like the yin to the sun, our sun.
Right. I remember when all the planets were aligned. I remember that because I kept pumping it up, but I forgot what the name of it is, what they called it. But I remember that specifically because on 2012, I was outside with my daughters and we were staring up at the stars in the sky, trying to see if the sky was going to open up or something galactic was going to happen. And we didn't see anything, but
it definitely had that. I was so nervous. Sirius is the planet. It happens to the closer it gets to our sun, the higher our consciousness goes in our solar system. And so back when it was in the Egyptians and all these times, Sirius was close to Earth, and so we had this golden age. And then it goes gold, bronze, gold, silver, bronze. The furthest point away was right when the age of Pisces started. That's when, so we literally started age of Pisces in the lowest consciousness humans have ever been and can be, in the Bronze Age. And so these past 2,000 years, we've been moving more and more and more. And the age of Aquarius is going to slip Sirius into the Silver Age, which is an enhancement in our awakening, not being in the lowest awakening. And so 2012 ended the age of Pisces, and basically what happened is Pluto, which is the planet of Scorpio and all of this rebirth and retransformation, wherever Pluto happens, all these planets just passed Pluto and Capricorn, and there was major endings and rebirths that happened from December all through January. That's why January, literally, people have been saying January was like, they're like, finally January, that year is over, because it felt like forever. January was the longest month ever. Because all the planets crossed through Pluto and Capricorn, and that had to be rebirth. We had Mercury, our minds reborn, the sun, our awareness reborn, the Venus passed it, our relationships had to get reborn. All these things had to deal with this deep understanding of Pluto and really kind of figuring things out all through December and January. And so, but Pluto's the main kicker. This is the thing I just think is really interesting. Pluto goes into Aquarius, which means this new rebirth, this new transformation, into Aquarius 2024. And notice America is known for, initially we were built off of like the one man humanitarian. Is very, the Constitution seems very freedom, it's very Aquarius actually. It's very like our vote is, how is the vote? It's what is it? Majority rule. That took me forever to say. Majority rule, where each person is on the same level. There's no like queen, king. So America is very Aquarius. Abe Lincoln, all our presidents. George Washington just had his birthday, I think, or is about to have it. He was an Aquarius, the first president. So Abe Lincoln, a lot of we have very Aquarian energy in America on the surface. That's how it's, now we're realizing it needs to be redone, but that's why. When America was created when Pluto went into Capricorn. And so Pluto has a 248-year cycle. And each empire, if you look at the time about It's about
Mm-hmm.
250 years when there was some, either it ended or there was some major transformation. Roman Empire, there's always 250 years. And in history, I would always look, and that's basically kind of when you learn it, that's how it's broken up. Literally kind of 250, this age happened, this happened, this happened. And I would always be like, does anybody else notice this pattern? Like, does nobody else see that this is happening in time? And then when I started learning about Pluto, I correlated, okay, Pluto 250, boom, boom, boom. And the funny thing about Pluto, it rules power, it rules control and authority and all of, this sense of energy and other people's energy. And so wherever Pluto is, that is your control, that is your authority, and that's why Scorpio has that kind of, they can really manipulate, like they have that kind of dominatrix, like my sister literally could probably convince me of anything because she has that Scorpio energy. And literally when she walks in the room, it kind of this like encapsulating, like almost kind of how a cat is, very like how it can like attract a bird.
Yeah. She can own the room.
Literally, it's that like it's seducing, literally seducing. That's Scorpio. It's that like that mystery that people really honestly are drawn to, because honestly, think about it, we come from darkness, so of course that's gonna be what we're really attracted to, and that's what we're gonna end up going out of into something new, is darkness. It's always coming from point to darkness, have a light, then you go to darkness always. So we're really actually have a really strong affinity with darkness, which is also why I think in culture, Black culture, is so emphasized, because it's that same allure that it has, that we have with darkness, and that same wisdom and that same spirituality that darkness holds. And so Scorpio holds that. It holds that like, ooh, there's a lot going on in there. I want to see what's deep and dark and all of that. That has that energy. And so with that, it's that's what Pluto rules. Kind of that energy. And so Pluto will be crossing and going to Aquarius in 2024, which is Age of Aquarius, and it happens to be when America is 248 years old, which is the exact time of a Pluto transit. So we signed the deal 1776, and that has been, Pluto has gone completely around the sun. It will be back at that exact same point, 2024. And anything with Pluto describes major life. When you have a major Pluto transit, die or someone die. Pluto really deals with death and really deals with endings and loss. And literally right when, I don't know if it was Mercury or the Sun, one of the planets crossed my Pluto, or crossed Pluto in Capricorn, I ended all my dance jobs right before that was a major. I mean, I still have one just my home that I teach at, but that was a major decision for me. Dance was, a gift that I got, and I still do it for, my therapy. And I just love dance. I'm never going to not stop. But I was trying to get some fame in it, and it was for a lot of money, and it was a lot of my past life. And I really had to end it and put my faith into the spiritual, and that happened when all those planets were crossing Pluto, and that was killed for me, my career in dance. And so this is major, it's that energy. And so with America, whatever, there's going to be a major death. And I can already just feel it. And I know it's going to be, I don't know necessarily if all of and the thing that it's more than just America. America represents the Western culture.
Right.
Once America was built, Industrial Revolution came after that. And that's really when things started popping off, after the Industrial Revolution. That's really when all the real hell, the cars and that's when we didn't even have 9-to-5s or none of that before the Industrial Revolution. We didn't have all these things that trap people. We didn't have these massive monopolies and these massive companies and the power control and stock markets. We didn't have none of that before Industrial Revolution, before America was built, basically. And so Pluto, that all that corruption happened while Pluto was in the same cycle. And so it's about to come back, and all of that, and Pluto also rules what you've done, behind the scenes, And so this past 248 years, that's going to come to the light. All the corruption of the government that's been, hiding things, and all the promises that didn't happen, all the things of the loopholes people get through. It's time for that to come out. And so that's what these next 6 years are about to do, because then once 2024 happens, that's the rebirth. It's death and rebirth happen. It's like that's go time. You know, it's time to rebuild. And it's also funny that Saturn, which is the planet of rebuilding and structure, is in Capricorn, which is the 12th house of Aquarius. And so it's about to move into Aquarius. So it's wrapping up Age of Pisces. Basically, Pisces is the 12th house. So Capricorn, Saturn and Capricorn is wrapping up. And also Saturn is going to go in, is in the place where Pluto is right now, and Capricorn is very the energy of America in general, about building success and your resume and all this kind of, who you are and all that kind of stuff. And so this is that energy, it's Saturn is going through this starting December 21st of 2017, going in, it'll leave in 2020 or 2021, I believe. It's tearing all this stuff down, us really rebuilding. And then it'll move into Saturn and Aquarius. I'll be having my Saturn return. So all the people with Saturn and Aquarius energy will be having been moving to power to bring in the Age of Aquarius. And that'll start 2 years later into 2024, or 3 years later, once Saturn moves into Pisces. And so then will be Age of Aquarius time for the next 2,000 years. And that's, enlightenment and new knowledge and the brotherhood and family and friends. Yeah, so.
Do you see this massive transformation? Hold on. Do you see this massive transformation of wealth transpiring with these eclipses coming about? Do you see that having any effect on the dollar crash that everyone's talking about, or anything that has to do with that?
It's about to happen quick, because think about the money. Okay, let's just go to just America, because we're only just a portion of the world. It's been corrupt forever, with money. We can go back, we can go a long time, but we'll just stay in America. The majority of the funds for America came off the backs of other people, right. Not just slavery. That every people, anybody who migrated started on the bottom when you came to America, and that was. You gave, and what's happening, it's all energy if you really think about it. So I just moved, I'm Irish, or I just moved up from the South, I'm, whatever, anybody, I'm lower class. I work for someone else all day, giving them 100% of my energy physically. People literally be losing fingers and shit, all kind of crazy stuff. But looking at it on the spiritual plane, you're losing your energy. You literally are losing you're giving all your energy, your spiritual energy, to someone else. And so they're taking that energy, and all their workers, and taking that, and that's why they're so rich, because your energy, however you feel about yourself, whatever energy you have, is the amount of energy you accept, and the amount of abundance you have. And so this is what has been happening, that we've been giving, the lower classes been giving all their energy to these higher classes to monopolize, and then we've had this separation in power. And so all their money is, physically we see it, but energetically it's the money of other people. It has a lot of other names on it. It's not the money, these billionaires. Yes, you have $1 billion, but all the money you got came from somebody else's energy and came from somebody else. So it's actually a conglomerate. It's actually someone else's. Also think that we know about like cancer. Cancer, the not the zodiac sign, but the sickness. Is when a cell replicates too much, and it doesn't have a control system, and so it's basically a greedy cell. And so in nature, think of a plant. Let's say we're in a forest, one plant gets greedy as hell. It'll kill all the other plants because it's soaking up the water. Naturally, you all only take what you need. All animals, that's why things flow. But humans, we got the flaw, and that's why we have cancer. That's as above, so below. It's not saying people who have cancer are greedy. That's not, that's just, it comes in our manifestation. But that's the world. If we were trees, we would all be dead, because some people would be drying everything up. And that's what's happening now, this sense of greed, this sense of taking more than what you need. And so what what they're taking, you're taking other people's energy, and you're taking what they need, their money, you know what I'm saying, their life force. And so what's happening is that lunar eclipse in Leo we just had on the 31st it basically was the full moon in Leo, and Leo represents your sense of integrity and yourself. And so with a full moon lunar eclipse energy beaming on the moon, it really started to show, and it finally opened up our eyes to how we feel about people. We finally can see, okay, hold up. This is even about in the truth, and what's happening is the people of the spiritual people we actually have had a boost in confidence because we've actually seen since the lunar eclipse our light. Oh my God, I'm actually a good person. Oh my God, I'm helping people. We've had that seen as the people in the darkness we've seen about them. And so there's no coincidence that right after we are now having this stock market issue because people are realizing with money, it's as above, so below. As the darkness is revealed on the top, it's going to be revealed in the money. We're going to start to see, all these things. And what's funny is our girl Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, anything Jupiter touches, really a guy, but anything he touches expands and we get new experiences. The ruler of Sagittarius, which is why they're so like expansive. And I want to travel and see all these things. Jupiter's been going through Scorpio since October of 2017. And that's been, think about all the scandals, all the pedophilia scandals, all the things about the government have been on 10 since October of 2017. Because Jupiter expanding is in Scorpio, which is the darkness, the secrets, the under the realm, the hidden fears, all the corruption. All Scorpio is the detective. Scorpio is the, hold up, let me investigate. Let me get a little deeper in that. Let me figure out, let me try to find the truth in this. Scorpio finds the truth in the dark. I would say Aquarius finds the truth in the group. Leo finds the truth in the self. Scorpio is like, let me find truth underneath. Let me make sure everything is covered. Let me really see in the darkness where truth is. And so that's been what Jupiter's doing. It's going in and literally exposing the hell out of everything. All my fears have come up in my face. All the things, if I have, any lie you said since October 2017 has come out instantly. That's Jupiter in Pluto, Jupiter in Scorpio. Anything that you want to keep secret, Jupiter's like, expand. Oh, corruption? Nope, I'm gonna pull it out. You're cheating? Oh, pull it out. There's so many things that anything we want to keep hidden is right in the forefront. And that is because we got 6 years to like, oh my God, the corruption, the things that and I'm an Aquarius, so I really obsess over different theories and things. But even me, I don't know how people feel about it, but like 9/11, kind of shady. I don't know. Things just, they don't make sense to me, And so I'm not trying to say that, I don't want to like start a wave of craziness, but like if that there is corruption in that, which I have a feeling it is, that's about to think when that comes out, that something in the government caused that, or something that they could have done something about it and they didn't, or anything. How much anger or how much reaction the public will have. These are these things Jupiter and Pluto are going to be doing, and luckily it is taking its time because we need the people that. What always happens is you have a strong group of revolutionaries set and ready before the revolution happens. It just seems to like the French Revolution, all these things. We are the revolutionaries now, the light. We've had to go through our first 6 years since 2012 of awakening, relearning our talents and gifts from this, past lives, reconnecting on the low, because people don't really know it's on Instagram and YouTube and things, but it's still kind of hidden a little bit. It's still, people don't really realize the web of spirituality that we have, the tightness that is developing, the connection we have that's starting. And so all these things are happening. We're getting more confidence. We're starting to also leave all these businesses and starting to create our own businesses. So nothing can happen. If the stock market crashes, okay, I'm self-employed now. So that's the age of Aquarius. It's almost like a barter system, kind of. We're going to move into more trading and more, just that's what it used to be. Just what I give and you give, and that's what animals do. You don't see animals handing out coins. They just figure it out, based on what you need. You always get what you need, and you always give what is needed. That's how the universe works. You always receive right on time, You always say the right thing. You always give the right thing to someone. And so as above, so below. And so that's what we have to get back into is you just being born, your beingness is all you need to live. You know, your natural gifts are going to be your job.
So, if they're not going to be able to hide anything, that means even the YouTube views anymore.
Yeah, right, right. We need to expose that. Come on, yeah. But that's true. That's true.
But like, this is what I heard though. This is what I heard. This like at least 15 years ago,
yeah.
And it was that the spiritual people were actually going to be the new celebrities, and this really came out pretty strong for my spirit. Because people would no longer look at the Jay-Z's and the Beyoncé's and the Shaquille O'Neal's as the celebrities, because they're going to look at it like, what have you done for the people? So it's the spiritual people that will take center stage on the world stage to get respect from the people, because they're going to be the ones that are noted as the ones that are the healers and the doctors and the ones that are truly helping people with natural health and holistic health and mental health. And the world will take a whole new respect for that type of life. You know, those specific individuals that have a calling on their lives, such as the spiritual family. So what is your perspective on that?
Yeah, I love that. And the funny thing is, anytime I think of the future, I keep hearing the word ambassador. Like, you will be an ambassador, you know, or the age of Aquarius, the Aquarians, this energy, the spiritual energy, we need ambassadors, you know. Because I don't really see, I think we're gonna kind of tear down the sense of how control is set with the government. I think that it's going to be a little more, maybe more cultural or local or more towny, or I don't really know how it's going to be set up, but I see ambassadors. And I definitely can feel that with the sense of the sense of fame and and I was like, the two things. I definitely see that because like celebrities in general, if you think about it, they're famous because like think about how much energy Rihanna receives on a daily. How many people think about her? How many people talk about her? How many people see her face? Yeah. So she receives all of that energy. It's all. Anytime anybody speaks with you, that's how you know you can kind of feel when someone's talking about you. You just have this sense because if I say your name, my energy is attached to it, and you're that energy. And so if they receive this much energy, then you get to fame. The more energy you receive, the more views, the more likes, you naturally get this sense of power because energy, you know, where attention goes, energy flows. And so when attention leaves,
because I think the Super Bowl just happened on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I was watching a clip. I don't watch TV, but I just ended up happening to be somewhere that weekend where I watched a clip of a whole crowd of people shaking a truck and being rowdy, and they were allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
And then I thought about like riots where the police come in and they try to control it. And the first thing that came to mind was the reason that they come in to try to control it is because they have no control. So they try to gain the control by taking it from the people. And then the people that they allow to do it, to jump on the trucks and things like that, is because they already have their things in place to harvest their energy. So they have more control over those specific crowds. Even though it seems like they're out of control, they're actually taking their energy and they're using it for their purposes.
That's Scorpio. See that little Scorpio's like, hold on real quick. Let me just on that for a second. I mean, that was that's something that is literally it. And people, I started noticing it. Like people, I kept here. For the past 3 years, I've cut watching TV because I noticed, my anxiety would go up after I'd watch it, and all these things. And it's for stuff like that, and it's for reasons like that, and like people are noticing just like right before a major event, a major election or something major, there is a major event like a Super Bowl, or we'll have, and even I get weird about saying stuff like this, but there was a pipe bombing in New York City like the day before the election, And so just things like that cause fear, or major things that change our attention and kind of distract us, these are things that are planned, that literally, to get our energy and our control, and distract.
Right. Because when they're screaming, look left, it's like, no, don't look left, look that way.
Actually, what's going on? Like, anytime anything crazy happens where there's something happening on the news, I'm always wondering, like, what's really going on that I should look at?
Distraction.
Or even like Kylie Jenner's new baby happened, that was just this massive like thing. And I'm like, well, what's really at the same time that the market's going down? There's so many things they don't want you to see because they don't want to, something to happen.
Let me tell you when I really stopped watching TV. Like, I just caught a movie this past weekend, but when I really stopped watching TV was I was watching, I can't remember the name of some type of video or something I was watching, but they were showing
Oh, weird. I don't know.
It just froze up for a second. Oh, they don't want me to tell you my story about no TV?
Get them blocked again.
But they don't want me to tell you the story about when I stopped watching TV. I see.
What's happening? Well, let me just turn it off and turn it back on.
No, you're fine. That's them not wanting us to share our story about when we don't watch TV no more.
But I think you should continue.
I will continue. Okay, so when I stopped, Vibe Tribe, come here, babe. So when I stopped watching TV was when I saw this documentary, and it was some type of Illuminati room or something that they were all in. And they were showing how, can you get me the charger, babe? Yeah, they were showing how that people that are in like higher power positions or whatever, they're not higher power, but they're only higher power because we give them their titles. True. But people that are in those specific realms, they know about energy, they know about the manifestations. They know about the black and white squares, which is like the mirrors, right? Mm-hmm. So here it is. I was watching this documentary, and they were showing how they hired all these people. They would come in on a 24-hour basis. And they would come in on a 24-hour basis around the clock to meditate and to manifest on a constant basis. Meditate, manifest, meditate, manifest, meditate, manifest. And I was like, whoa, this is kind of trippy. Like, this is how they get down. So this is how they pretty much rule the masses, by bringing in this team of people to constantly stay in meditation all the time.
Wow.
And I was like, if they're meditating like that, then I'm not going to be giving my energy away to time-wasting practices, which is why it's called tell a lie vision, because it's telling lies to your vision. So I decided to create my own vision and start going into my own meditations and manifestation modes during those specific times where I feel I get bored and I want to sit down and watch TV. And I decided to start creating some things in my own reality and my own life. And that's pretty much one of the keys right there. It's if you feel like you want to sit down and start watching TV and, I don't know, maybe that's when I start getting into astrology, because even astrology is like looking into the stars, looking into yourself, looking into the natal chart. What is your energetic makeup? You know what I mean? What is your life map, your inner life map saying about you? Where are you supposed to go? Where is this path supposed to lead you? Which trail are you supposed to take to get there? Which breadcrumbs do you leave behind and which breadcrumbs do you keep? You know what I mean? So this is where I really love what you do, especially because you see different tarot readers and they read the cards. I read cards too. Everyone has their own way and their talent that they bring it about. That's beautiful. But to read the cards is one thing. But to know the planets and the stars, even the Dogons, the Nomo showed the way, but they got the Dogons showed the way, but they got the knowledge from the Nomos, which were from Star Sirius A, B, and Star Sirius C, right? But I didn't know that the planetary alignments that the Dogons were showing us, that the Nomos were showing us, that our galactic friends were showing them, had everything to do. We're looking up in the sky for the stars, but deep within, I had no clue that we are the star makeup. Our body is an astrological makeup. Our body is a map. Even the Bible is a whole entire astrological makeup. The whole Bible is astrology. So when people say that the Bible is fake, it's not real, I'm like, it's astrology. It's a map. And then what's even deeper than that was a deep, dark lady who's really into witch practices showed me how they use codes in the Bible. They use witchcraft and create codes in the Bible for their crafting, to craft their spells in the Bible because of the astrological makeup that's in the Bible. And I was like, whoa, you mean to tell me that's where all the witches hang out in the churches? And are you serious? So the rabbit hole gets deep. It gets really deep. And I love what you do, especially with astrology, because you, my friend, you're looking at planets and you're looking at the planetary alignments. And that is true astrology. That is true life in its essence, to be able to look at the planets and the stars, because you, from what I know, you can't change your natal chart, but you can learn what you can do to help yourself make it through the makeup in your natal chart.
What's going on? That's so true. And that's what I guess because it's something that was like a past talent or something, learning astrology, like it was, and I learned it as I was learning it, it was healing me and helping me understand myself. And so then I came to understanding, I was like, oh my God, like I'm actually talking about the planets and their position around the Earth, because you don't really think, I saw it as a conceptual, but not in the real, like, no, I'm reading the energies of the planets. When the sun gets opposite the moon, our emotions are hell, because that's full moon, like literally these things are so real, and so not as mystical as we put them, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that's the awakening that the world is ready for, to really see, oh my God, like, and it's so hidden. That's just amazing how I'm still mind blown from all of that. And these are these aspects that are going to be revealed to us as well with the age of Aquarius coming, Jupiter being in Scorpio, and all these Scorpios with all this knowledge, that of the hidden, to come and bring all that out. I completely, yeah, it definitely is time for all this stuff to be revealed and all this new movement. And people, I think, are even opening up to astrology because they're seeing, I don't know. Once you open it, you really realize how real it is and how connected it is. You can't deny it once you get an understanding of it. And I think now, I guess what it is honestly this light that we're talking about, this acceptance of the underdog, this looking at, this shift that's happened. It's like, okay, now the power is their ears are opening. They're able to listen. Okay, let me get a reading, or let me, I've seen even astrologers on the I don't even watch the news anymore, but on like the biggest news things, literally starting to kind of come in. And so once you open up to it, it's like once you awaken, you can't close it. Once you listen to your emotions once you listen to that intuition once, all these things, once you speak to your guides it literally is one time. You need one awakening, one connection, and you can't lose it, because then you're connected with spirit, and it's a go, it's from there. And so I definitely think that, that's what gets me by, literally. Astrology, like it I don't know, it is something so brilliant, so brilliant. And just even looking at how people mix with each other. All the people that I want to see our charts and see how, like, it's crazy. All of my clients have really strong Mercury in their charts. And I have a Gemini moon. My South Node's in Gemini. Lots of Gemini Mercury. I'm a Virgo rising, which is Mercury. And so I happen to attract so many, and that to me blows my mind. Just how are you attracting these people and just all these things, and so that is just like.
This is deep too because I have Gemini in my 8th house.
Wow, which is and you know what's crazy? My Scorpio is my 3rd house, which is the Gemini house. I have Scorpio 3rd house.
And see, this is pretty deep because it's almost like, see what I mean? This is the map again. It's almost like we're supposed to work together.
Literally, we have the same Gemini Scorpio. Like the way we communicate is that Scorpio, like you have Gemini in the Scorpio, so you communicate like in your Scorpio, you're Scorpio like a Gemini. Like as a Scorpio, you want to communicate the Scorpio. And I am a Gemini. So what I'm talking about though, my 3rd house is Scorpio. So I'm talking about Scorpio stuff. That is like
it's a match made in heaven, everyone.
What blows my mind.
We're about to go in on some knowledge, and this is why I want to have you back again.
Always.
Because I know that we can really delve into some realms here.
Oh yeah. And you have a great awareness of similar things, but a whole different realms. I feel like I just can see you have so much knowledge I don't know. I just feel like there's so much like that we can really play with.
Little Alice in Wonderland in there.
We got some magic, some mystical things hidden, yeah. So.
But you too, though. You too. You have a lot too, and that's why I love your vibration, because I feel like we can bounce off of each other.
I agree. I definitely agree.
I do. So I definitely want to have you back. Let's work it out. I usually have shows on Friday, Tuesday, Fridays. I'm trying to work it out and see if we can pull you back in on Fridays. I know I'm implementing now classes on Fridays to where I have people actually come to Crowdcast, because Crowdcast will be more of a platform to where we don't have to worry about YouTube blocking the videos or filtering us. That way we can really go in. So if we really go in, that means we're really going to be sharing some really deep core knowledge with some real on-time channeled spirit manifestation, miracle, right now needed to know info. And I wanted to have a chance to invite people to start coming to the Crowdcast platform. And just let us go to work there, so that way we don't have to worry about this blockage. Because if you think about it, YouTube is what it's for. It's free. So you're gonna get what you pay for free. So we're getting the free services here. But those who know what the times are and they're willing to support what it is that we do and respect the knowledge that we're bringing to the light, then they will come with us to get these downloads, because what is basically being pulled out of me and being pulled out of you is basically to save their own life. And like we just said, we're about life, death, transformation. And look at the times we're in. Aquarius times, right up on the age of Aquarius, right in the midst of eclipse.
Literally the middle. This is the most. Eclipse is the strongest transit in astrology. So to be in between them right now, we're like in a massive, massive portal. I don't even know what to say. We're in this crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. See, this is, I feel like this is even one of a major transit for me, because I know where I'm going in business. And I know that even in my natal chart, I'm supposed to meet people in business and things like that. But I really do feel like even with your knowledge and your wisdom on the planets alone, I would love to implement that into, what I do here at Nubian.
I love this. Is so. I would love to have okay. So it's Friday, y'all. Y'all know it's gonna be deep. What's happening.
And then even if I can't make it on some Fridays, I still would like for you to have the Friday shows, and then you can invite in guests on Fridays.
Oh wow! Yeah, cool.
So we can work it out.
One of my clients today just told me that one of her, everybody's been having these paths, these visions opening up since the big American eclipse on the 21st of August we had. And with her, she has a Scorpio rising 29 degrees. So the last, like a master Scorpio, the last degree rising. She is now going to be a Reiki master by the end of the month. And so these are all these things that we're connecting with all these people with all of these amazing talents.
Right.
To be able to share and really like, she's like, okay, like she literally just started her Instagram for it today. So it's all about, you know, everybody it's about to be go time.
I know. And I love it. I feel it. I'm like, I'm in go time right now. I'm just like, I just needed spirit to like drop some spiritual people in my lap and let's just take it to town from there. Because right now it's like I kept telling people, you want to be around spiritual people during these hours. And this spirituality right now, it's pretty much just like a code. It's like the Tower of Babel going down between planetary alignment and spiritual alignment. And it's a language, it's a vibration. You have to be vibrating at a certain megahertz to even understand our language, because if not, you're not going to get it. You're not going to understand it. And even if somebody did, let's say there was a time where people were so-called like taking other people's information and they try to run with it. You can't even do that no more. You're not even going to be able to keep up with the vibration. It's like you either got it or you don't.
That's true. That's so true.
So
I completely agree with that. And what I'm seeing too is there's a like when people get to the lowest point, because I think that we kind of had to deal with it a little bit early so that we can be the healers.
Right.
But a lot of people are still in the darkness and are about to have these major realizations, like when their major, you know, company completely goes down because the CEO had something repeat. You know, you never know what's going to happen to tear this stuff down, but it's coming down, and so people lose their, you know, all their, you know, investments, all their retirement. People lose all these things and get in this the darkest place. And then also religion's about to be getting torn down in whatever way. I'm not saying it all's going to go away, because our religion still offers lots of wisdom, but the way it's taught is going away, because the age of Pisces is a lot of corruption in it. So then they won't even have churches to go to. But when we hit rock bottom, we naturally have an urge to pray. We have and ask for, you know, God. Like that's when you really get spiritual, is when you're in your rough times. And so I think that's when the spiritual, you know, when that table is really going to turn. We're getting set up now. We're kind of like showing people like, hey, you see, you know, we feel this good vibration, good energy, and people are kind of listening, but they're still in their, you know, they're still dealing with their life and still kind of in this watching TV. I still want to watch my TV every night, and I still want to be in this lost kind of zone. And then things will be happening this next 6 years where people will have to go to, you know, the spiritual. They'll be like, oh, I remember that person I heard. Let me actually see what it's about, you know. And then I think I can see that. The one thing, though, I have been noticing and chatting with my sister, I've been keeping it kind of low key. There's massive spiritual people that have major following, but they're actually not too spiritual. That's what I'm noticing. And so some are, but some it's very good, becoming trendy, and some people have picked up a trend and are got like 50K followers, but they're not. Look, I'm reading their content, and I'm like, but in your content, you're just telling people to smile, and that's not deep spirituality. You know, what are you really? What are your spiritual gifts? Are you showing to people? How are you really healing? You know, and I think people are going to notice that. Okay, this is cute now, but as times are getting real, it's helping them to understand tarot and stuff through using these big people. But then people are going to really need to get around true spiritual people who are getting blocked. You know what I'm saying? For, you know, all these things. To once you get under to really get it deep, and so I think then that'll be when they'll, you know, shift. But
yeah, because spirituality is like friendships to me. It's like it's a constant interview. Like you may have been my best friend in elementary, but you still have to prove yourself my best friend in high school. You still have to prove yourself to be my best friend at my wedding.
Yeah.
Like the energies are constantly changing. So if the energies are constantly changing, it's the same thing. And just like spirituality, like spiritual people know spiritual people, but being a spiritual person on a spiritual journey, it's a hard walk. And at any second, you may be tempted by something that may make you fall off, because all it takes is just one night. And you know how many people are like, just this one night that never make it back to the morning.
One thought.
So right, and just one thought. So it's like all basically in this hour, you can't play with spirit and you can't fool spirit. You can't even, you know what I mean? You can't even fake the funk. Like I can be like, you know, last night, like I just got drunk and I come sit up here like, what's up?
Hey,
you gonna know something wrong with me because I'm gonna be like real different that day. Me, see, I'm naturally just goofy, just high. Like I'm high off life. And I'm actually, to me, I'm funner now than I was when I was getting drunk and high. For real. When I was smoking my weed, I'm just like, I'm fun to me. I love myself more now. I feel it. And like I said, you can't play with spirit, especially because when you have a call upon your life, you're being used and you're being that example and you're going to be exposed. And I think that's what's happening is there's a big, even with the eclipse that's going on, like you said, there's a lot of people that say that they're spiritual, but if you say that you're spiritual, you're going to be tested. And trust me when I say you're going to be tested, because those tests will come. Those demons will come, those vampire energies will come, whatever it is your heart's desire. If you feel like you're afraid to live if you're living in a skyriser today and you're afraid to live in a tent tomorrow, you're gonna be tested if you're afraid of that. You know what I mean? And me, I'm like OG, triple OG. I'm like, whatever, let's go. Whatever we got to do today, whatever, you know, in a mansion today, in a shelter tomorrow. I'm with that because I know that none of this stuff defines me. It's all materialistic, and we ain't supposed to be tied to nothing in this world anyway.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's what gets me through. I'm like, okay, this is clearly, what am I learning from this? Because this ain't even real right now. Let me just keep it. You know,
exactly. 100%. It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion, folks. It's not real.
No, that's so true, literally. And the crazy thing is, like, or how fast you can shift your reality with just one thought or just one feeling, and your whole world can change. You know, that's how you know. It's like this energy, we can really work with it. It's not, you know, as you know, that's the one quote I always see. It's like, well, I need to see it to believe it. And I'm like, the seeing is the last thing. That's the manifestation. That's the end. But spirit is the start. And you don't see that, you know. So if you waiting to see something, you're missing a lot of the process. You know what I'm saying? You're missing a lot of what's really going on. And so spiritual is like understanding that full spectrum, and you know, it's like believe it to see it. You know, I have to feel it to see it. That's kind of where we're going to now.
Right. I love it. I love the spiritual walk, the spiritual path. I love. Like, for example, I was awakened this morning and I heard myself talking to myself so fast. And I was like, wait. And I was trying to wake myself up, but I was trying to remember what I said at the same time, trying to wake myself up. But then I realized, wait, that was my higher self talking to myself. Like, yeah, hold on a minute. Like, who gets to experience that? I'm like, wait, what did you say, girl? And I'm like, okay, I can always go back and ask because it was my higher self talking to me. But it was just powerful to hear that so clear. Like, wait a minute, like I got a serious download. And with that download, there's a serious message in that, which means that we crossed over, because we're in a portal right now.
Yeah, that's true.
We crossed over into a whole new realm. And this specific realm, it's going to bring out our talent, our gifts, our abilities. There's things that are embedded within us that we didn't even know that were embedded within us. Back in the day, when people were like, I was talking to myself, or I heard myself talking to myself.
Yeah.
Well, now we're in a time where it's like, okay, everybody talks to themselves, and hopefully you do, because I need expert advice. So I'm the only one that I can talk to.
True. That's true. Yeah. I love that. And that's what I feel like I said it in one of my videos. That's one of the recent things that I've been getting in dreams. It's nothing. I'm not seeing anything. It's just darkness. And I just hear like, you know, words. And I can't really remember them, but I always think, you know, I think my soul is like, okay, when you wake up, you know, promote, you know, go in this direction. We're going to be helping with this way. And all these things, I really feel like that is completely it. We are getting put into like it's go time, you know, and spirit's like, this is what we need to do. This is what's happening. Like, boom, 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 boom. Or let me, you know, get up and not want to pull for the collective. Let me just get up and not want to do anything spiritual. When I tell you spirit sends the most blocks of my way, anything I want to do that's not spiritual, like, nope, No, if you don't, or everything in my thought is, well, I wonder what the pull is, or I'll start seeing tarot cards, and I'm like, okay, Spirit, I got you. Okay, because we
Yeah.
cannot give up the path. It is purpose time. We are here. The reason we're incarnating, I think now we finally are doing that reason. Before it was so much healing what we were born into, but now it's like, why were you born? Okay, this is
Right.
living.
Like we have literally stepped into our callings. We are here. We are literally on the world stage in the midst of our callings. And what's beautiful about it is we're meeting our soul family, our true family, our true spiritual family. We thought our family before was our blood family. No. Our true family is our spirit family. And what's so powerful about it is like we all have such a bond and a love for each other and this automatic caring for each other. We can talk to each other about anything and not feel like we're going to be judged or not. There's always answers. We're here to help each other. It's the most beautiful family. What do you call it? Family reunion that I've ever been to in my life. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever been to a family reunion. But this is powerful to me because this family union that's happening right now with the spirit family is one of the most beautiful experiences that I can ever have asked for in my life cycle.
So true. And the most magical ones, like the craziest, the craziest synchronicities, like, oh, so amazing.
Oh my gosh, yes, the synchronicities. That's oof.
That's honestly got me initially into spirituality because I'm skeptical. I did not know
it's 11:10, right. And in a second it'll be 11:11. And earlier today I looked at the time, it said 10:10, then it said 1:11. And I keep seeing this 1:11 and this 11:11, and I'm just like, okay, can I just get the time without 11:11? Then I saw 10:01, and I'm like, okay, fine. I'm not fighting it no more. Let's just leave it.
Yes, and that literally is. That's what kept me in spirituality is these things those signs. I was like, okay, there can't be anything else. Like, no, like it's happening now. There's no way, or I remember so many times I've waken up out of my sleep, check my phone, and it'll be 4:44 in the morning, and I'm like,
yeah, me too, or 5:55.
Like what you literally, and I had to sit and be like, okay, so I physically woke up randomly. I could have woken up any other minute in the 8 hours I was asleep. I woke up and you saw 5:55 what, and so that's what kept me in spirituality. I'm like, that is beautiful for that to be that perfectly planned and perfectly, that everything is so like, it's just so beautiful. I get like emotional because it is just like.
And then we start looking up angel numbers.
You know what I'm saying? Those or so many times, and this is what I want to share and what we're learning about too. Like think about having a time. I've had a time when I was in a difficult place or lost, and I had really a quick split-second decision, and I saw 222 and instantly knew, okay, I'm fine. Let me calm down. Or I instantly looked and saw 111, or instantly looked and saw someone that resonated with me that calmed me down. It's those, but I would have not known any of that. All the things I've went through the past 3 or 4 years, I would not have made it through if I did not have my spirituality of the cards and the signs. Like right now, for me, it's 12/12 right now in East Coast, and so it's these signs like that have kept me going, and that keep me, that really show us the connection to spirit, our whole purpose here, and so that. It just, oh my God. And it happens all the time. Anytime I'm down, there's a sign that there's a synchronicity to keep, or I'll be walking and accidentally knock over my tarot deck and the fake, and the star card will drop out. And I'm like, yo, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, it's the plug. Like, it's the plug. Like, spirit is the sugar daddy. Spirit is the,
I know.
Whatever you need, spirit is there. You just got to just work on his time. And that's it. And just do the work. Literally, my biggest thing was the water bear. I cut all the dancing before it basically kicked off. And so there was major, and I'm still in a faith test of that, but I'm going based on knowing I'm giving my love to serve and serve God's purpose for me and spirit. This is what spirit wants. It wants me to help awaken and help empower people. So I will always be protected. I don't have to worry about anything. And it was crazy. I
Yeah.
was nervous about, oh my God, how I'm gonna pay the bills, what's going on. Then one of my a dance studio that I haven't heard from in a while messaged me, hey, can you come choreograph for us? I found you, and then I got choreographed. Why does the dance director know all the birth charts of her students? And I've never heard of that. She's into astrology. So I attracted this studio that not only is covering me financially when I gave all my faith to this spiritual, the spiritual business, this is just nothing but being taken care of. I now am choreographing with these kids. They all know their zodiac sign. I felt so comfortable with them because they have the same frequency, we're on the same wave. They're spiritual. And I literally was choreographing with kids. And so this is those link ups that just keep me moving, keep me, like I just know as long as you line up with spirit and you line up and follow your heart, which is what this whole North Node and Leo, all that is doing for us, is getting us in our heart. As long as you're in your heart and as long as you're living with love, you're protected. Like birds don't wake up wondering how they're going to eat the next day, but they live their full life. Every animal does. And they wake up with joy and just excitement. And so that's what Age of Aquarius is. That's what we're moving into, is living for joy, the thrival, not survival, and hell yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm so ready for this change. To see people truly.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love your energy. I love your spirit. I love it's the vibration that you have vibing from you is just vibrating at 144,000 megahertz, family. And I'm telling you, I love your spirit because first and foremost, I was born in Florida. And it was pretty much my uncles and my grandmother and all my uncles were pastors.
Oh, wow.
So pretty much when I end up coming through my whole little channel and walking whatever, and I was this stripper or whatever, and then I end up trying to go back to go visit home, it was like, oh no, you didn't come back here, child.
Yeah, I know the South. I know it's the nice nasty like.
So when I heard your story, I was like, wait, time out. Now, what I really love about your story, especially right now, is here it is, you're right smack in the middle of being used by spirit during a time where everybody's waiting on Jesus to come back.
Yes.
What is powerful about your story is like you walking in the church and you having this God spirit in you, and you're vibrating at 144,000 megahertz. And here it is, everyone's looking for 144,000 people, but they're missing it. They're missing your gift. They're missing who you are because they've already stereotyped you.
They literally are just.
They've already stereotyped you, so they can't see past any of the knowledge or even tune in to listening to what you're saying because they already have put these blankets and these sheets and dressed you up any old kind of way to where it's even clouding their ability to hear. So I feel it's important for me because I don't think there are no mistakes. So I feel it's important for me to have you come back on a regular basis here on our show on Fridays.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
We'll talk about the breakdown and how it's going to go. But what I would like for us to do, because I feel your spirit and I know you have that talent and that gift, I would like for us to go find more people like us. And I know we don't have to find them. I know they're going to find us. And that's one thing about Nubian Newz. I always tell everyone that it's one thing to be religious, but it's another thing to be spiritual and to be able to pack a stadium with Muslims and Jews and Buddhists and Greeks and Chinese and Asians and Blacks and whites and Puerto Ricans and all different nationality, cultures and walks and creeds. Why is that? Because that's spirit. That is spirits in its finest essence. When you're able to pack a stadium like that, it's like, like for example, I lived in Los Angeles for a while, and everybody was so mean to each other until there was an earthquake. When there was an earthquake, everybody would walk through the store, they were getting along, and everybody was friends, or unless it was Christmas time. So here it is. I feel like it's Christmas time, or it's that earthquake in the world. And here it is, as the spiritual warriors, that we have been gifted to be. We are here in the now to be able to stand in our calling, walk in this knowing, and to be that vibration that the world is becoming a magnet to magnetize towards. So I would love to hear more about your story. I love that you use your throat chakra like you're talking about. And I think your throat chakra is very powerful. I use my throat chakra a lot too, and that's what really caught me.
Pluto, the planet of
throat chakras.
And all that, my Pluto, all the your powerful planet is in my house. And I have a Scorpio Pluto, so it's in that Gemini. So my talking is my gift. Anytime I like get defensive, I'm like, let me just say something. Let me like. It's always my words is what I got. If you take my words away.
This is amazing. My 20s Scorpio Pluto as well. And see, this is what I'm talking about. There's something going on with these Scorpio Pluto, Aquarius, Scorpionic energies. The Scorpion energies are here to change the world. The Aquarius energies are here to change the world. And that's what I was saying on my show even last night, how I was talking about there's a lot of divine masculines, divine feminine as well, but there's a lot of divine masculines that have Scorpio in their chart or some type of Scorpio makeup. Or even if they're not divine masculine, just say the men in the world that were known to be Scorpions, if they did not abuse their power, many of them have, but the ones that have abused their power as Scorpions are here for life, death, and transformation. If you misuse that power wrong, then you can literally drive somebody crazy or drive them out their mind by taking advantage of that gift that you have. So here it is. We're in the age of Aquarius with this Pluto Scorpio energy here that is here to transform, that is here to change the world. And for those divine masculines out there who are walking in their calling, those who are really doing the work, trust me, it was not easy for a lot of Pluto Scorpion divine masculines. It was not easy for a lot of Pluto Scorpions, period, especially to be on a spiritual walk. So if you're on a spiritual walk and you're a divine masculine and you got it, you are doing wonders and you are here to change the world. And especially if you're Aquarius rising, my twin is like, he's Capricorn, but his east point is Aquarius. So he's actually rising. So what I'm understanding about this Aquarius energy, and for us to be in the age, or should I say, what is that, 6 years away to the age of Aquarius?
We're basically in it. I mean, I'm always lit. So I'm like, it's the age of Aquarius anyway. But yeah.
We're about to see one of the world's biggest transformation. We're about to see a transformation of energies, a transformation of wealth, a transformation of power, where the power is going to be given back to the people. I saw this in a massive vision. I saw where even the spiritual people were surrounded by the people and they were so protected. It was like government entities couldn't even get to them or touch them at all. It was just one of those That's So Raven visions.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. And that's what I've been like, because I have a feeling of going where we're going to, but I would love more vision, more visions of it, because that's what we ain't seeing nothing but the truth. You know what I'm saying? That is, I love that.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I love this show. What'd you guys like? Do you guys like it? Do I see any questions down there? Let me see. Let's see if anybody has any questions. Because wait, you do readings, and can you like tell people your channel so that way they can find you? Because I want them to be able to look at your stuff too, and to be able to find you like I did, and to groove like I grooved with you.
Could I type in the chat, the group chat?
Huh?
I don't know. Will I be able to type in the group chat, or could I guess I could just say it. Yeah, on my YouTube, it's Corey Randall 93. Or you can search hashtag the water bear into YouTube. That'll probably be the easiest one. Hashtag the water bear into YouTube. My website is Corey Randall, Corey, Randall, RANDLE.com. And you can just see the water bears on there as well. And mainly check out Instagram, which is the Water Bearers _T, where I just post like everything basically I think about. Yeah, so yeah, that is it, and offer all kind of services, astrology, tarot, all those good things. But mainly, I really am just starting healing sessions. So really getting into kind of tapping in to see, you know, how to really heal like the inner child and just a lot of different traumas and different things that we can't really carry on into the age of Aquarius because that it rules that light and that, you know, you can't bring all that trauma into something of that, but the vibrations won't work out. So it's kind of really trying to really dive in to really heal a lot of the things that hold us back. So that's me.
Right. I like the fact that I like the fact that you are able to be yourself, that you're able to just I love your throat chakra. I do. And I want you to always be yourself and never allow anyone to make you feel like, and I know you don't, but I just want to confirm this, that
Yeah,
you don't let anyone take your shine from you, to take your smile, because your glow is so beautiful. And I know who you are because I know your spirit, because I know me.
That's it.
And I automatically have this instant connection with you. And I had to bring you to this platform because if YouTube is blocking my views just because I made a little comment on your show, you have so much more to say to the world. This was nothing here. This little 2 hours, this was nothing here. And I know that your talents and your gifts, they have made room for you. And I'm ready to like really blaze, we don't call it the red carpet here, we call it the golden carpet. So I'm really ready to blaze the golden carpet with you, my friend. And this is going to be very fun. I'm looking forward to the experience because, like you said, with us coming into this whole age of Aquarius, this is basically a major purging. And with this major purging, we're even in the hour where so many people are going to lose their minds. People are not going to know what to do, where they're going to go, who to turn to. And to have a platform like this to where we're able to help them call themselves back to themselves, basically deal with their Akashic record, their inner selves.
Literally, yeah.
That's very important. That's very vital. And you can't even get that from a counseling session at your local hospitals.
No, and then not only did we understand that spiritually how to help, we went through it. I literally remember so many days talking to my sister saying like I couldn't even feel my feet touching the ground. That's how ungrounded I was. I didn't, nothing felt real. I remember not even knowing, I had to lose everything. My whole identity changed. And so I had to completely figure out, okay, what are my values? What do I like? You know, what is everything? And so all of us have had this complete, we've lost everything in order to be able to rebuild it through spirit. And so, oh yeah, the journey is extreme.
The journey has just begun.
We have just started on the path. Yes,
we just got here. And what I love about it is that somebody ate up all our little breadcrumbs. And what's cool about them eating up our breadcrumbs is that we can still find our way because we are the astrological makeup. We're the maps. And if you know yourself, the key in this hour is know thyself. Yeah. And if you know thyself, you can look within and look within your inner natal chart and you can find your way home. Like Dorothy said, with the red shoes on, you had the keys the whole time.
That's crazy. You said that. Right before the lunar eclipse, I was freaking out and just, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this dream happen. I don't know if I'll be exactly. I literally had just cut all the dance jobs and I wasn't seeing, the vision. I was like, oh my God, did I just cut everything? And I'm going to be, all my fears started coming up. And then I pulled the collective card and I remember going to my favorite deck because I was, I needed, for me, I was like, I need this guidance so deep today. And I went to the Sacred Rebels as my favorite deck, and I pulled, I don't remember the name of the card, but basically the message is you already have what you want. It's saying like the glass is already on your head, don't need to look anymore. And I was able to sit and realize, oh my God, I have everything I will ever need to get to any place I need in my path. That has been just set up for me. And I didn't realize it until sitting in that moment and then realizing, oh my God, we have been so set up for this new journey that's kicking in. Literally, the 15th of February is the solar eclipse when it's supposed to initiate, when we're supposed to start these new seeds. And so we're
in. Can you give us a little bit about this eclipse before we chime off for the night? Can you tell us what you know about this eclipse that's going down energetically?
It's major, and especially we talk about twin flame and all this thing meeting with it has Juno is the planet of commitment, the planet of fated love, the planet of partnership. Not planet, asteroid. And so wherever your Juno is like I have Juno in Cancer, so I always dream of a partner who's nurturing and a partner who will protect me and all these things. That's Cancer energy. But wherever your Juno is your ultimate, the person you will be the most committed to, and the kind of energy that is. And so this full moon, I mean, it's not full moon, the new moon, the solar eclipse happening on the 15th is in Aquarius. Right. And it's 27 degrees Aquarius, the last bit of Aquarius out of 30. And right beside it, Mercury will be 25 degrees. So it's conjunct Mercury. So it's all our thinking and talking, all that. Juno will be 26 degrees. So it will be conjunct Juno. So this massive new moon, which is all about, new beginnings. New moons are new cycles. And with it being an eclipse, it's 6 months. So a new 6-month cycle starting February 15th. It is the first solar eclipse we've had in Aquarius since it's been since 1999. So this is the first time we're going to really get this solar eclipse energy. Finally, we've had these solar eclipses in Leo, lunar eclipses in Aquarius, but now we're going to get this turn finally to get this Aquarius vision, which is the age of Aquarius. And that'll be happening on the 15th, planting these new seeds for the next 6 months, and really kicking us into that age of Aquarius. Venus will also be conjunct this new moon. It'll be moving into Pisces. Actually, it's probably in Pisces. Oh, no, it just turned. It'll be moving into Pisces today, Venus.
Venus is going into Pisces today. That's right.
And I have my natural, I'm a Venus in Pisces. Actually, my strongest planet is Venus, 29 degrees Pisces. So I understand some love for the people. I will do anything for everybody, basically. And so that's the energy we're moving into. So we'll have Venus and Pisces for this new period. So we're restarting with that mindset of the collective, and the main thing I wanted to say too is the North Node is in Leo. So that's where the North Node is where your soul wants to go. And wherever the North Node is where our journey is. And so the past, since May of 2017, we've all been encouraged to be super courageous, to follow our heart, even away from the group, because the South Node is in Aquarius, which is ironic. The South knows where you want to go away from. And so in the gifts, the gifts you take, but what you want to leave. And so there's been this massive pull for everyone is polarity of, should I do this even though everybody else is doing this? That's what we've all been feeling since May. Oh, I have this dream, but my whole family tells me I shouldn't do it. Or, I want to go in this direction, but I feel like the group wants me in this way. And so it's been reshaping the group. A South Node in Aquarius redoes friends. And literally South Node is reshaping the karma. And so with it being in Aquarius now, Aquarius is where we're going to. So it's perfect that we're having this reshaping of the new area we're moving into. So the opposite of Leo is Aquarius. So that's the 7th house of relationships and partnerships. So for us to finally have this first new moon where we're planting seeds in the opposite sign of Leo, that means we're finally planting seeds about relationships and about these new partnerships we're making that we'll have for the next age of Aquarius and moving us into it. And it's no coincidence that Juno, the asteroid of commitment and partnership, will be 2 degrees, or no, 1 degree from the new moon. So literally it's on top of the new moon. So our insight, we're literally planted, like right now, we just met up, we are linking up. This is that Juno, and the new moon's 5 days from now. So of course, we would have this meeting up right in this period because we are going to be linked up and then moving into the age of Aquarius, this energy. And the last thing I wanted to say too is with this is what when we talk about twin flames, this is the time that it's actually happening now. Twin flames with age of Aquarius, what Pisces and what—
Don't make us smile, man. Don't make us smile.
Oh,
don't lie to us. We've heard this before. We don't want to hear no lies.
Yes, twin flames. And so before, partnership was all about like just solely romance. Just, I love you. Let's, the jobs were, the wife was, a lot of, I hate that image, but for a good bit of time, the wife was at home. The careers were separate. You were just married, and it was built off of, love and commitment in that way. But now twin flames is a spiritual bonding where, yes, there is romance. Yes, there is love, but we're moving for a purpose. The twin flame is your like in the yin and your yang. When the Big Bang happened, our energy started. Your twin flame was right with you. They're your polar opposite. At the same time, they are you. It's that like exact mirror of your energy is the same. You could be totally different, but that energy frequency is like boom. And so when you are matched with that energy frequency, your yin is finally linked, and then you can move on a spiritual path. There's been so many people leaving relationships now that were not spiritual. And so now when you leave those relationships, we're now linking up with so many people based off of our spiritual, energetic energy, how you were talking about with me, how we resonate on this energetic level. This is what the twin flames are going to be getting back with. My biggest example of twin flames is Michelle and Obama. They're not seen for their romance. Yes, people do talk about it, and they have a really cute relationship, but they're known for what they do together. Obama would not be able to be president without Michelle. That strong rock and that. And Obama has Aquarius rising, may I add, which is kind of
Wait, Obama's Aquarius rising, really?
He has Aquarius rising. He's a Leo as well, and he has a Gemini moon like me.
What's Michelle?
Michelle's a Capricorn.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so Michelle provides him that strong stability, but his vision and all his words are that Gemini moon that we share, and that Aquarius rising. I think he was literally his word hope. That's the faith card. That's the star card, which is ruled by Aquarius. And so I think he was that first kick. And didn't he come in around 2012? When was the
yeah, it was right around that time.
Around that time, he was the first wave of this new awakening. Literally, he was the first person I idealized.
Ever. Or 2010, something like that.
Yeah, that energy. Coming in, it was with him. He was the first person I actually could see, okay, this is someone similar skin complexion to me that has these different diversities. He didn't fit in, all these things. I never had any representation until Obama, really, I felt. And so he did so much for so many people. And so that's a twin flame relationship is Obama and Michelle. Or you don't really see a lot because we're not there yet, honestly. That's what we're getting to. The twin flames now are meeting up, and it's meeting up on, okay, you can help me. You're encouraging me to boost myself and my business. We're here to empower and heal together. And so that's what's happening now is that twin flame meet up. But what's been needing to happen is you can't meet your twin flame until you know yourself, because that's how you will recognize them, because they're you basically. And so we've needed all this time this past 6 years, and especially this past 6 months since August 21st, to understand ourselves. I feel like I really have come into a major re-understanding of who I am, and mainly I've been developing my divine, my feminine side. So much trust and so much really listening and so much just tapping to my feelings and really moving only. Literally this year, I've made all my decisions solely off of feeling and solely off of what I felt guided to do. And so that's all divine feminine. And so we've been learning our balance so that we can meet our balance in person. Or if you've already been, met that person, really get to going on the path. I always thought I was like, no, there's never going to be a time when everybody's going to be linking up. But no, I think that this next 6 months, this new moon is literally conjunct the planet of partnership. So this next 6 months will be people literally twin flames linking up like hell. It's crazy, And
so we waking up or waking up, you said?
Awaking and linking up. And then lots of relationships are ending with people that you're not spiritually in alignment with. So much linking up in energy. Usually in twin flames as well, there's usually one person that is the seeker, the more spiritual one, and one person that's the runner that kind of gets helped. And there's one that kind of is more intuitive. And so that person has been the spiritual person this entire time building themselves. I feel like I'm probably going to be that person. And then the other partnership is more of the active energy that's really good at promoting and really good at getting things done. And so then you have that kind of blend coming in. And so that's what's been happening. And so, you know, the active energy has been really working on being more soft and being more caring. Lots of the masculine energy has been, you know, in men especially, I've even seen in the little media I do see, men are opening up more and accepting and having more conversation and talking more and sharing more emotion. So that is showing there is a turn. And so there is going to be this massive blending coming in. So I'm excited for it. And with the new moon being in a place of Aquarius, it represents friendship in the community. So we're going to get this new light with our friends, you know, meeting new people, all this new thing, you know, the lone wolf will finally be able to meet their tribe coming in towards the 15th. I'm so excited. We've had to shed a lot of old people and baggage to really
tell me about it. Oof.
Like so much. I like cut. So many people got cut. But it's now so that we can feel free enough to meet new people. So, you know, it's wake up time. Wake up time.
Yeah, I was saying that too. I was saying that we're gonna see, like, we're gonna witness for the first time unions on a massive scale. Mm-hmm. And what's very telling about that is now people cannot, you're right, they can't be in a relationship if they're not spiritually connected. If you're not spiritually connected, that other person is automatically going to get on their nerves so bad. And this is why they had to go through that phase in the karmic cycle or the soulmate cycles. Like, people are so irritated even with their soulmates, or if they're still in a relationship with a karmic, then even they low key is like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. I gotta run. Like, they are trying to plot their escape route right now. Like, it's not even funny. It's sad, but it's like people want to be free, and they don't want to be tied down. They don't want to be held to these rules anymore. They want to be themselves. And during that karmic cycle or the soulmate cycle, that was a learning phase. And we've heard from that, especially with all these eclipses here. These eclipses have helped us eclipse so much stuff out of our lives to where now that there's nothing there to hide it anymore. Yeah. So if there's a cover up and that's not who that person really was, or if there was some type of cover up within you that made you only crave that person for a certain reason, then you no longer need that cover anymore. Now the blankets are pulled off of everyone, and everyone's freezing right about now. So if it's not the person who you want to really be warm with, then it's not gonna work out. And people are really planning their escape routes. And if they've already planned their escape routes and they've done that and it worked, then yes, we're gonna see massive unions. And I'm very happy for the people that are going into union. They deserve it because they've put in so much work. This twin flame journey has not been the easy journey at all. It's been, but if you think about it though, it's been not only one hell of a ride, it's one of the most powerful rides that you could ever think of, because not everybody has a twin flame. And think about how many people that don't have someone that has made them wake up to who the heck they are. Those are the people that are really in trouble right now. But what's powerful about it is I feel that the twin flames that are coming into union had to be awoken and woke up, because they're the ones that are supposed to be the ones that are like the ambassadors, like you said, on the planet. And they have to be put into a position of rulership and power and come into their divine birthright in order to help the people. Because you can't be on a spiritual path. And I don't believe in being on a spiritual path and struggling and trying to survive. Like you said, the new money is currency. The currency is energy. That energy could be bartering. So what type of gifts, and even like with myself, like with me having the different businesses and self-employment that I have, like I've been telling people a long time, I don't have no welfare benefits, no food stamps, and I haven't qualified for that stuff for a long time because I call myself expatriating from the government, because I call myself being a sovereign citizen. And being a sovereign citizen and a single mom was not matching up with my budget, but I was forced to survive. And now I see that Spirit made me survive. Spirit made me learn the tools and the tricks a long time ago, how to survive on your own without this governmental system, because you can't be dependent upon anything. And when this governmental system crashes, and you have been dependent upon it, then you're in for a big shock. And trust me when I say there are more men dependent on the governmental system and welfare benefits and food stamps, and they're everywhere women ever. So that's who I'm really concerned about. That's going to be hurting the most, because that money, that check was, and that food stamps, even if they only got food stamps, that was their pride and joy. And if they don't know any other bartering tool or tricks or trade or anything like that, then those are going to be the ones that are really going to be hurting.
That's true. And I think especially with the men, masculinity is so fragile that they haven't been able to escape and find any of their uniqueness as much as women have. And women even haven't, I'm not trying to say women have much freedom either, because it's
right,
limiting. But, instantly think of like a man growing up, okay, you're going to be a doctor, you can play sports, you do all of these things where they are not even, when did you get the time to see what your true gifts are, and especially even in an expression, I found a lot about myself in how I choose clothing. That's even how I choose to move and dance. That understanding only came though through me opening up enough to do that. Growing up, I limited even dancing. I didn't dance certain ways because I was nervous of breaking my masculinity of society. And I tried to nitpick how I spoke and the words I spoke, because men don't speak this way. I tried to repress emotion because men don't do that. And in my clothing, I'm dressed like a man, all these things.
Yeah.
So when that goes away, men will have a complete identity crisis. And so a lot of my energy, I want to put a lot of energy into, mainly it's in the gay community too, because I feel like it's people are promoting an identity that they feel, it's like an orphan syndrome. Like, well, I'm left out, so let me just be this gay theme. But that there's a lot of healing I want to do with men and with that. And I've had, my father, all these different relationships to kind of get this understanding of how they see it. But yeah, it's been this massive just shifting going on. And once that happens, then they will be, the union, and all those things coming in. So
I can't wait to see all this fuss and this commotion and talk about union. I cannot wait to see, more than anything, what exactly are these twins calling? Like each pair, like what is their individual calling? Like that, my friend, that's going to be what's so powerful about this whole entire journey. To see all these master magicians and master co-creators just pop up out of nowhere and just start making stuff manifest and happen, and standing in their full divine power and their one body self, and operating from their right and their left side of the brain, and helping with the yin and the yang. The world has never seen anything like that. Are we ready for that?
Right? Yeah, I'm so excited for that. And even especially with as a Scorpio, and my sister, like with what's the word? Tantric sex and that kind of thing, with partnerships, using energy and how sexuality is the energy of spirit, that is the seed of creativity is your sexuality, and your that literally bursts creativity. Without sex, without your sexuality, there would be no creation. So you need that kind of energy too. It's like the alchemy. That's like alchemy. And so, even with twins meeting up, then you will have that. I've been reading how, with intentions, twins can, you can set up and when you're with your partner, and climaxing and all these things that with the tantra and the energy, it sets your intention, like lighting a candle or like having a ceremony or all these things, because you're using that not only one energy, one power, one set of motivation, but two fused together, and that is like massive doubling and healing, and think about the healing that can happen, what I'm saying, with a partnership. Like that is, it's about time. It is about time, honestly.
I can't wait to hook up with my twin. I want to swallow him and hold him in my stomach for about a week. I'll let him go.
That's so Scorpio. Scorpio. I love you.
I'm just kidding. If you're watching,
hey, turn up. That is.
Oh man, no, I'm not.
That is so Scorpio. I love that.
I know, isn't that? And see, that's deep too, because see, Aquarius rising would be afraid of that. Like, don't say that.
I'm like, ah!
Don't say that. See, oh my gosh. I don't know who I was in a past lifetime, but I would love to be married to me. I think I would be a lot of fun. I would keep everybody laughing. You'd be laughing all the time. We would just live. And I know my twin is just me outside myself in male form. So he's just a silly. So he has a small plan.
Super. That is it. That is it.
Yeah. But this is going to be fun. This is going to be so fun to just embark upon this journey that we've all actually been sent here for. True. Now, this is when it gets really real. This is like the game changer for real. Like, we are really ready for this.
Like, I've been feeling like this like almost anxiety I'm feeling. It's like a bubbliness that I've been feeling since the eclipse. Since it happened, I've had this like unsettled, like, oh my God, something big is changing. You know, this is
Now, what about your symptoms? I've had so many symptoms. It's like pregnancy symptoms I'm having. Have you had those symptoms too?
Mainly my moodiness is the main one where I'll wake up with I'm gonna get this done. And one thought or one thing, or I'll look outside and it'll change and I'll instantly, okay, I need to go to sleep. I need to take a nap. Or some, massive mood shifts, massive mood shifts. Or I'll instantly get crazy inspired. I remember yesterday morning, I had to stop myself and eat because I wanted to post so bad and write. And oh my God, there was just so much downloading coming in and just so much like passion I had to share. And like, maybe I can make a video about it. I didn't eat until like 1. And I was like, oh my God, I almost died. Like I was getting like about to throw up because I was so hungry. But that mood, that passion, that like, it was like a rush that I just like came in and then like it left and it changed. And then, so it's just switching. I've had lots of head, pressure, like here in my third eye, my scalp.
Yeah, I had some of that today.
Lots of scalp itching.
Grounding and some breathing, yeah.
Yeah. Shortness. Did you say shortness of breathing?
No, I had to do some grounding and some breathing because I felt that pressure.
So much pressure in my face. And then I've had lots of not shortness of breath, but noticing that I haven't been taking lots of deep breaths. So like just kind of racing almost, a feeling of kind of racing. And a feeling where almost kind of like hamster on treadmill, where like if I'm in a chill, I don't want to chill. I'm like, is everything really done? Like, should I be doing something? Could I be promoting? Is there like an idea I should be coming up with? So this energy of like, just racing. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I can't like calm down almost. So it is. How have you been feeling? And you have a lot more water too, so I'm interested to see because water signs truly feel what's going on. I'm interested to see like.
Yeah, and that's funny that you say that too, because have you not noticed that because we're spiritual people, that things happen to us before it happens to everyone else?
I definitely do that. Yeah.
First, and then everyone's looking at us like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
Everybody's lit, and I'm coming in there like glasses on, like.
I know. And then after we go through it, then we look at them like, then they have to go through it. We're like, But yeah, I've been
big in Chicago. Everybody I've seen is sick now. And I was in that feeling 2 weeks ago, but now the past 2 weeks, everybody's been so sick and so like sad. And I'm like, y'all are late.
Yeah, like I ate really bad this weekend. My daughters and I stepped out on a little vacation, but I ate so bad. But now I'm shifting that right back because just from eating bad from those, and I call it bad, it was still vegetarian, but I'm more raw food.
Okay.
So that was bad.
Yeah.
But even though I just, see that little shift, like vegetarian food to raw food, I feel a difference in my body and my spirit and my aura field. And then I can feel it immediately, like when I'm not able to channel as much or see as clear. Like I'm very intuitive when I'm on a fully raw diet.
Yeah.
And I had to bring myself right back to that because even just being on that vegetarian diet, I was like, okay, something's not right. I'm not home here. Like I don't know, just that little shift right there. So your diet can have a lot to do with how you're feeling in this hour. Especially if you're eating meats, if you're eating any type of meat, that if you will feel the shaking, the shifting of even the fear of the animals, and that will
Yeah,
take
because that
your body into a shock.
yeah, that like I realized, and what's crazy, the new moon is conjunct the planet. I mean, the asteroid. I can't say the name. I think Hygeia is the name, and it's the asteroid that focuses on our health. And so I was looking into it and like, oh my God, that's crazy. And so everybody's really going to be health focused this this next 6 months. But what sparked what you said sparked something in me when I went to Vegas and LA with my friends. My best friend got married and I kind of had a little vacay. Um, but they drink a lot, and what I've noticed is through my awakening, I can't drink anymore. Anything past a drink, I start throwing up. Anything more than one drink or anything, because of my soul can't take that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You just reminded me. I saw this video. It was like maybe about 5 days ago. I was watching this video and it was on YouTube. It was on one of the truth seeker channels, whatever.
Yeah.
And they were showing how they're taking the bottles of wine, and people think a bottle of wine champagne is innocent, but they were pouring the bottle of wine down the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would pour water on after that, after the bottle of wine was in the toilet. And then they were showing how these parasites were purposely put inside of the wine. And so people are drinking wine and drinking champagne and not realizing that there's worms, massive worms and parasites that are eating up their insides.
Oh my God.
Right now inside of the wine. And it's like, it was just totally disgusting. And I'm just like, okay, I'm glad I don't drink, smoke, do drugs. I get high off of tea and alkaline water.
Yeah, because it is so bad. And I was on the vacation. I told them that I was like, y'all, like, I'm not gonna be drinking. Like, I can't hang like you can. I can maybe one drink, but I'm gonna get sick. All this. By the end of the trip, when I tell you I didn't have any visions, I couldn't see anything. It took me 2 or 3 days being back in New York. I didn't even post in the Wetterberry because I didn't have any new knowledge. There was the insight I get in the morning that's like, I should share this. All the things I post are like, it's things that my guys are like, hey, this is what I had nothing. There was no communication. I didn't hear anything from my guys. I literally felt like back like in high school. Like I was just living. And it was because I was there for 10 days and every day I am sure I at least had one drink. And it just the energy of eating, fast food and just all these things where I was off. And it took me a full week coming back to get, oh my God, the bathroom. I was like releasing so much nasty stuff. So and I'm even still, learning about, because just being from the South with the fried everything, and barbecue everything, it's been a lot for me to switch. My roommate, luckily though, is vegetarian, and so I've cut a lot of this stuff out. I used to be eating Debbie cakes and everything. I was that person, like everything. And so everything now I just eat chicken. That's the only thing now that I'm trying. That's the last. I'm working on it.
Chicken? That's not chicken.
That's the thing. It's not even real. And that's what she's.
Look. I want you to Google this video, not Google, YouTube this video. It's called Meet Your Meat.
So MEET.
Meet Your Meat. MEET. Your MEAT.
Oh, Lord,
watch that video.
I need to.
It's not chicken, my friend.
Yeah, I need to, because I've been slowly.
Look what they're doing to it. Look what they're doing, and then you're eating the fear of that animal. You're eating.
This is what I started feeling, and I didn't know before.
So just so you know, see the size of my fist? Okay, it's like the size of a baby chick. So within 3 days, the size of my fist to the size that you see the big chicken in the grocery store, that's 3 days. That was about 5 years ago. Now this, to what you see in the grocery store within 24 to 48 hours, is this now.
In a day or two?
In a day or two, because of the growth hormones that they're injecting inside of the baby chick.
they grow into, oh my God, yeah, that is.
So what is that doing to your system once you eat it?
That's kind of like chill. Yeah.
And you wonder why you got a big head. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, yeah, that is, and that's the thing about it.
Just clowning.
No,
I
this,
got jokes for
and like I guess like a year or two ago, because growing up, I ran from my emotions and I didn't feel into anything because I'm verticalizing and all the air. I don't, I ran from everything. And so the past 2 years, probably 3 years now, I started really talking with my sister about feeling my emotions, and it made me very sensitive. It opened up all the sensitivities I actually am. I was able to really, someone who walks in the room, I now can kind of feel their energy, but I couldn't feel any of energies until me really opening up and understanding my emotions. From that point on, I had to cut out so much food because of what you were saying, where I had to instantly stop eating burgers because my anxiety in my stomach, anytime I ate it, I felt I would have the craziest thoughts that I've never thought about before. Crazy,
yeah.
crazy thoughts, racing thoughts. And I felt like basically like an animal, not like an animal, because I'm not like that. I hate the way I say that, but like an animal on steroids, in where your legs are broken and you're in the cage, and I literally felt like I was experiencing the trauma of the animals. And so I cut the cow out. Then it was pig, and so that's been over the past year or two of me like removing that taste and taste for that. Now I'm trying with sugar because I know there's basically that's poison. But I love candy and stuff so much. So it's just been me like.
Well, there's other alternatives to sugar. All you have to do is eat dried fruits.
True, that's true. To have, yeah, that's, see, that. I like dried fruit.
And then just get some dried apricot
Yeah.
and put a walnut inside of it and lace it with honey, and
Oh.
there's your candy.
See, I didn't, and that's the thing. It really is just a craving for something like a sweet taste, and I just, I don't think to have that.
Powder.
Yeah.
If you want that to be chocolate outside of that, there's cocoa powder.
True,
You
yeah.
put the cocoa powder on top of that. You take it and stick it in the freezer, and you have some candy.
See, this is what I need to know. This is a well just sharing. I would love, yeah, I would love to know more about this because in the age of Aquarius too, there's all this produced food is not going to be, and so these are such innovative ways of bringing, because my body's used to the complexity and like all the different tastes that we had, and so I'm gonna need different ways to keep it interesting and switch things up. And I'm already like excited. I want to
Oh my gosh, I make hamburgers out of nuts. I make pizzas, fully raw pizzas. We make ice cream out of bananas and strawberries that are frozen.
You're making it too. Like I love cooking and I love doing hands-on things. So that is cool too. That oh my, yeah, you gotta make some like a recipe book or something.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on my book right now. I actually have my site up.
Yeah, I need to. I'm
for the food that we do, but I'm working on the book right now. Yeah. I actually had it done before, but I'm revising the book because we added some things to some of the menus and recipes.
Oh, well, I'm subscribing, or wherever it is, I need to hop on it because that is. And what's funny is my body is doing it for me. I can't eat the things, like literally I will get sick so fast. It makes no sense, and I will know exactly what it is. Like, okay, it was that I had, I had, what did I have? Little Caesars 3 or 4 nights ago. I had a craving. I was like, you know what? It's been a long day. Let me just go get some pizza, like whatever. I woke up at 3 a.m. and I was using the bathroom probably till 5 a.m. Just like constant. My stomach was like turning and just.
Because that's not food.
Literally. I had nightmares that night, hot sweats. I had to sage. Like it was like terrible. It was terrible. And it was because of all that's in the food. I even think that even the energy of the people working in there, handing you the food, there's not a lot of love and appreciation put into making the food. And so, all of this frozen scent somewhere, they're just throwing it in, and so it's all that energy you're picking up. And the more spiritual.
Oh, yeah, I talk about that all the time. And with my daughters, I think that's one of the biggest challenges to get children to eat right. Yeah. But my children, they love they love, love, love. Oh my gosh, I better grab at least 2 slices of pizza before I walk away from it. And it's really raw. They eat up the whole thing like it's a regular pizza.
Wow. See, that's
all their vitamins.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to worry about, you know, anything extra with that. So
yeah. And they probably and then even I mean I still don't eat the best, but my complexion, even my face opened up, just my energy level, you know, it changed so much.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I love about how I prepare food as well, because especially with the energy that we're in right now, if you eat right, then you can actually, it's like a fountain of youth. You can reverse your age with it. You can reverse your health. You can heal yourself. You know, there's also like I ripped my arm out of my socket. Pulling my daughter off of a merry-go-round that some little kids are pushing really fast and all the kids are screaming on it. So I walked up to the merry-go-round trying to stop it in one stop like Superwoman. And it flung me across the park and I jumped right back up and stopped it still. And I didn't even feel what I did until like an hour later.
You're like, look,
I healed myself after 2 years of just eating completely fully raw diet, and they wanted to do surgery and everything, and I put my arm right back in my socket and healed myself from eating right. So your body heals itself, and if you think about it, the medicines that are inside of the pills and all that from the doctor's office, they're all plant-based anyways. They have to derive it from fruits and vegetables and vitamins. So when you eat right and you eat holistic and you eat healthy, you're healing yourself.
That's true. That is so beautiful. And it's I read about it and I especially with the spirituality, seeing and just, you know, plants their whole life, all their energies come from the sun, you know, and so all of this you're just taking in not only the rays from the sun, but the information the sun sends. And so you're getting those downloads by eating, you know, all of the fruit and all of, you know, everything, honestly. So, you know, it's just nice to now be able to speak with someone who has that experience in it. Because I had, you know, again, with the Aquarius, I have the wisdom all day, but it's just me now trying to, okay, now how does that work for my life, and how does that work for, how can I share it, and how can I like, so this is amazing. I'm so excited to you know, try things out and switch things up. Oh my God, yeah, completely.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Well, look, we can talk forever.
Right, we are going in.
We could talk forever. We've been going in about 3 hours now, so we're gonna chime off, but we're gonna be back again on Friday. If you're available on Friday, then we're gonna talk. Let's talk. If you're available tomorrow, I'll call you tomorrow. Just hit me with your number in my inbox.
Yeah, I'll email you all my info.
Yeah. That would be great.
Beautiful. This is so amazing. So amazing. And this is the thing. Let's wing it.
What'd you say?
And then boom, you know, it has been I was just saying that you know, we literally said let's just wing it and see where we go, and we have this full
dynamite explosion.
Yeah, that was.
See, that's what happens when you get Aquarius rising and Scorpio rising together. They make magic.
Just like boom, you know. Yes.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, you have a good night.
All right, same to you. Bye, guys.
Bye, Corey.
We have fade out music. I love this.
Yeah, I'm playing my music to exit us out. It's called In This Place.
I know, yeah, I'm loving the vibe. I think
this is me.
Dance to your music.
Once upon a time in my life, to go within to get me right. Never knew the trials I'd have to win. Very deep within my chakras and never thought I'd face the zone again. But now I'm sitting on my throne. It's inevitable. Keep walking, keep stepping till I get it right. Everybody wants that freedom, yeah, yet they fail to do the work within. No longer can we hide. Spirit is exposing all our lies. But wait a minute, think about it. How am I supposed to make this shift while I go in on my gifts? But wait a minute, think about it. Created to be this way. Take me to the sacred space. Going home on this place. Going home on. Ooh, I think I'm going home on. Going home on. Ooh, I think I'm going home on. Going home on. Ooh, I think I'm going home on.
Oh my God.
It's inevitable. I'll keep walking, keep standing till I get it right. This path that I'm on is inevitable. I'll keep walking, keep stepping till I get it right. Everybody wants that friend. Yet they fail to do the work within. No longer can we hide. Spirit is exposing all our lies. Going on more. Ooh, I'm going on more. Going on more. Ooh, I think I'm going on more place.
Oh my God, that you can't just. Oh my God, that was so amazing.
I love it.
Yes. I've got. Oh my God, I need to dance to your music. That was just like, yes. Thank you for that. Thank you, everyone. Sorry, I'll just continue to talk.
Thank you, beloved, for joining me. I shall see you next week. Gotta go. Peace. Bye.
Deuces.